tenure as chair of our board and for all that you've done for our community. For years, Tammy, you've poured your heart, soul, and endless energy into advocating for Lower Manhattan. You've guided this board through monumental challenges and massive triumphs, always with fierce dedication and a deep love for the Lower Manhattan community. And personally, I've been inspired by this dedication, drive, and fearless fighting spirit. Sometimes maybe a little too fearless. Your personality and leadership is infused with passion that comes from values. Along with this personality comes a unique lexicon. We'll call them Tammyisms. We've all heard the Tammyisms over the years. They come out in times of triumph and sometimes in a bit of frustration. When we celebrate a victory, we say, oh, songs. And there's the unfreaking believable. But that one maybe cuts both ways sometimes. They also swing to a little bit more on the outrage side, beyond pissed, and end with a closing period. And I know, when you're feeling reflective and a little more philosophical, there's the winning is the booby prize, which everyone has heard.
Yep.
And there's more I've missed, and I'm sure she'd love you to call her out whenever you hear a new Tammyism that I have missed. We'll still get to hear your Tammyisms from a different role, but it really has been an honor to work with you. And I've learned so much about Lower Manhattan from your wealth of knowledge and great experience. And I know I'll continue to consult you as I strive forward to better my work for Lower Manhattan as district manager. So thank you. So next I want to bring up Lucy. Yes, I'm ready. Now. Lucy, come up and.
I'm gonna be quick and simple. First of all, we didn't do this in June because I'm going on vacation.
Bravo.
And I have to close the city books, so that's priority, am I correct?
Okay.
I'm gonna be quick and very quick. Tammy, we love you, I love you. I can't speak for everyone else. I adore you. I thank you for showing me the way, and I'm speaking of myself, when I was chair of CB 13. If it wasn't for you placing the foundation, I would not have been in that position, so I thank you very much. Now, as I said, short and sweet. So on behalf of the staff, Oned, Zach, and I, would like to present you with this plaque. Thank you. Try to get you.
All right.
And this side, Lucy,
We're going that way, my camera.
360.
Don't move, don't move.
Get closer.
Thank you. No faces.
This way. Relax, closer, that, hello, thank you, Tammy. Or the photographers here.
And if she runs uncontested for treasurer, make sure she doesn't ring my phone.
Mr. Borough President.
Thank you, Zach. Thank you. Thank you, Tammy. I feel like we should all wear a bracelet. WWPD. What would Tammy do? Because we really do look to your leadership here in Lower Manhattan. I know the council member does. I do. All of your board members, your colleagues, and your team does. And it's just led a remarkable period of leadership here at CB1. But I am here, as Borough President often does, to proclaim. And we call it, proclamating. We're proclamating. And on behalf of 1.6 million Manhattanites, I have a proclamation here where I'll read a choice bit, where we are proud to acknowledge those organizations and individuals who are committed to improving our city and enriching the community. And whereas Tammy Meltzer has dedicated more than 2 decades to public service in Lower Manhattan, including serving as a member of Community Board 1 since 2012 and as chairperson since 2020. And during one of the most challenging periods in New York City's history, Tammy guided Community Board 1 through the COVID-19 pandemic with steadfast leadership, ensuring that the voices of residents from the financial district, Battery Park City, the Seaport, and Tribeca remained central to the city's recovery. And whereas Tammy has been a tireless advocate for waterfront resiliency, environmental oversight, public space, affordable housing, responsible development, always fighting to protect the health, safety, and quality of life of Lower Manhattan residents. And whereas Tammy championed community-driven solutions for major resiliency and redevelopment projects, advocated for environmental protections at Battery Park City and 250 Water, and fought for affordable housing for 9/11 survivors, responders, essential workers, and middle-class families. And whereas Tammy Meltzer has also been a dedicated voice for 9/11 survivors and families, ensuring that the Lower Manhattan community remains represented in the ongoing remembrance and rebuilding of the neighborhood following the attacks of September 11, 2001. And whereas guided by her belief that, quote, all government change starts locally, end quote, Tammy Meltzer has devoted herself to strengthening schools, parks, public spaces, and neighborhood life with the more than 60,000 residents of Community Board 1. And whereas through her leadership, determination, and deep love for Lower Manhattan, Tammy Meltzer leaves a legacy of resilience, equity, and community connection.
Very
This
nice.
is the Wizard of Oz part. Therefore, I, Brad Wyman Siegel, Manhattan Borough President, do hereby commend Tammy Meltzer for her contributions to the city of New York and proclaim today, Tuesday, May 26th. One more, and, Councilman, do you mind standing on the other side? And I'll stand up here, and I'll.
Great.
And one more this way. Tammy.
We're gonna have to do this again when.
Yeah.
Yes.
The one thing you may not know, this man is an incredible artist.
Oh.
I have seen his artwork
Ah.
at my kid's school fundraiser. So I'm gonna ask if you would sign the back.
Oh. Just after I give you a Hello Gorgeous sticker. It's a bonus for your efforts.
I will actually, thank you.
Here you go.
You give me another, I'll put it on my laptop.
I will.
Live in it, put me on
I
YouTube.
got it, I got
There
it.
you go. He's an amazing artist and I've seen a lot of drawings he does, so
Okay, I'll
I'll
talk.
ask you to toss.
Okay, I will. Well, I'll do it while we're,
Tammy, I want you to look back.
Council member.
It's so great to be here. I'm not gonna read the proclamation. I just want to talk, from my experience with Tammy. And I think the number one word is integrity. We all know where Tammy stands on every issue. I never, as a council member, had to doubt whether Tammy was gonna waver or change her opinion based off political pressure, based off any external factors. Tammy was the voice and is the voice of this community. And we've been through some really hard fights, right? Not just the pandemic, as the borough president mentioned, but the mega jail, citing of homeless shelters, pedestrianization of street, resiliency, every single issue you can think about that affects the city has taken place in Lower Manhattan. And Tammy has been there as the voice. And sometimes we can't speak up the way that she did in these meetings, because we are elected official, but she was there publicly, privately, fighting the fight and speaking truth to power. And so I don't know what I'm gonna do without having Tammy on my side at these meetings. It's gonna be a lot harder for me, but she's an incredible individual, incredible, strong leader in our community. And I could go through a number of examples of her even guiding and giving me advice as a young elected when I started, and having all her years of experience, not just on this community board, but as PTA president of a local school, just volunteering all over the place. She was really the guiding light for this community and has really helped me, grow as an elected official over the years. So Tammy, I'm gonna miss you. I know I'll see you around and you
Well, I'm not
always,
going away.
you're not going away, but I'm gonna miss you really setting the tone for all these conversations and being a true leader of this community. Thank you so much, Tammy. And I'll just say,
I take direction from Lucy.
let it be known that Christopher Marte, council member of the first district, gratefully honors Tammy Meltzer for her more than 20 years of outstanding leadership and contribution to Community Board 1 and Lower Manhattan, signed the 26th day of May in the year 2026. Let's give it up for Tammy Meltzer. We'll have the borough president.
Drawing.
Okay, I get it. Okay, that's.
Wow.
Good.
That's really good.
You can make a couple of bucks before the.
Yeah, right.
You know what? This policy thing doesn't work out.
That's right, I got an option. Hooray, hooray. Yes, congratulations, Tammy. Thank you so
All
much.
right. Now we have Assembly Member Grace Lee online. She's available.
Well, I know she's on. She's on.
Oh, control.
Is she on?
Is it Assembly Member
Yeah.
Lee on?
Okay, I just told her to come on, so.
Okay. So we have various representatives.
Where's my?
Want to come, if you all want to come up?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
See, I mean,
Come on up and-
I was serious.
Wow.
Really?
I mean, how you can flip it in your house.
Yes.
I know, right? You're reading the whole thing?
I have no idea. You're asking the wrong kid.
We're not. Okay. We do all have this. Yes. Are you ready? Yours, Sam, we're doing this, let's go. Go ahead.
Yes, okay. From Congressman Dan Goldman's office, Jack and I are here. We can just read our last little. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Congressman Dan Goldman, on behalf of the United States of the House of Representatives, proudly recognize and commend Tammy Meltzer for her outstanding service, principled leadership, enduring commitment to the residents of Lower Manhattan. She leads the role of chairperson. Resilient, equitable, and connected community, and we wish her continued success in the vital work that lies ahead, given this day, 26th of May, 2026.
Phone call.
TV, no help.
Oh, no TV.
Oh, no TV.
Come on.
Oh, we're,
No, no, separate.
oh,
that's.
And Zach's and my ends.
Word? Well, hold on until you're ready for the next story.
Tracy.
Hi, Tracy from Assemblymember Glick's office.
I've known for decades at this point.
And Lane from our office as well. We won't read it, but it says the town is wonderful. We use words like tenacious, persistence, humor,
Yeah, that's good.
expertise, and so on. But we really appreciate, all of the work that you've done on behalf of the Lower Manhattan community, and we also will miss you in this capacity. I don't think Deborah's on, she had it on her calendar, but they're still in conference, so, but congratulations and thank you, and this is from Ira.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Myers. Everybody, on behalf of Senator Brian Kavanaugh's office, want to present this to you. Tammy, I feel so lucky to get to know and work with you. You are truly a remarkable person, and well, everything that the people before me said, is true. You truly are a special government worker, and I'm so psyched that you're staying on. So please accept this proclamation on the behalf of the senator.
It's hard to see. So,
Yeah.
torture's accurate. That's what happens when you're younger.
Absolutely.
I think between, speed dialing the senator and speed dialing Chris, and I do mean like speed dialing. It's like.
Oh, wait.
Grace
let's
is
take a
here.
pause
Grace
for,
Lee is
to look
here
up
now.
Grace Lee.
Yes, yes, you can.
I can see you. Hi, everyone. I just didn't want to miss this. I'm so sorry I can't be there in person. Tammy, thank you for all of your incredible dedication and devotion to Community Board 1 and to Lower Manhattan. I know this is not the end of all of the things that you will be doing for all of us in this community, but this is just the beginning, and just celebrating you and all of your service to Community Board 1, and looking forward to the many other things that you will do once you are off doing other things. So great. Thank you, and thank you again, and sorry I can't be there in person.
You're doing the good work in Albany, so thank you. And I appreciate this. How's this?
Looks great.
Oh, yeah.
The hybrid. Thank you, Grace.
Okay, from the public advocate.
Really?
Well, I'm Ariel from the Public Advocate's Office. I won't repeat, but thank you for your many decades of service. This is the first and only community board I've attended as a staffer, and you've been so welcoming, and just, running a tight ship. And it'll be very hard for anyone to live up to all the amazing work you've done. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So thank you very, very much. Come here. Okay.
All right, from the New York City Comptroller's Office.
So, on behalf of the New York City Controller, Mark Levine, congratulations. He is out of town. This is why he's not here. So he wants to express his appreciation of you for many decades of service, including 6 years as chairperson of Board 1. I'm not gonna go through the whole list of, accomplishments, but, congratulations and thank you for being a voice, in the states for, this community.
Thank you for coming, and thank Mark for.
Yes.
And this is our new community person for CV1, so it's all perfect.
How about everyone together?
I'm not gonna hold all the flags.
Everyone hold your flag.
That way you can still get all the last minute.
Tell you what, I'll.
You get lavender?
There's something crack about walls.
Please. Let's make such bad one.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna take this out. All right.
Nice.
And I'm taking one. Yeah.
Yes.
On the middle,
And she come up.
on the middle.
Where's that?
Go in the middle of the right, yeah.
Holy smokes. And like, I seriously thought it was gonna be a salad for me. It's like, because. See, all I want is a salad, not, can I have a salad?
Right?
So I thought that the thing would make me, one thing for the community board and a salad.
Yeah, pull down, please. Pull down. All
Lucy's camera here. Don't have a move. One more.
So,
Here's from here. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Yay.
Music ball. Thank you. Thank you, man.
So Francis, all of us, I'm the big mouth, and so I'm going to give an award to another big mouth. On behalf of the community board, all of us.
1 second, Mr. Newell.
Oh, God.
Susan,
Okay.
this way.
Oh, Michael, I hope you got that.
Uh,
Oh, before you go, I want to say for all the electeds who wonder how I'm so vocal and wonder how I do the work that I do, you see the man standing there who looks a little bit like David Cross. White shirt. That's my.
Of the members of the community board, who you may be a little bossy at times. And,
I learned from the best.
we truly all appreciate you and how we've all been able to fight it and help us fight and be there and have all of our backs. And here we have, I'm not going to name everybody, but Jeff Ehrlich is here, Roger is here, Bruce is here. There are a couple of other, and Mimi's here, people who were on the board and benefited, and we benefited, but most of all, we benefited from you. So this is one thing for you. I tried to put a bow on it. It's a lovely one.
What is it?
This comes from the federal building, and it was, when I went to Rogers Award.
Yeah.
That.
It's nice.
They give it.
What the-
This is.
Perfect. Perfect.
So we did a collection and we got a lot of money. You got a lot of gifts.
Thank you.
Beautiful flowers.
So somebody who ordered the flowers actually really knows me well, so I'm not sure who did, but I am picky on flowers.
I'm gonna take credit.
You should take credit, because I am awful to buy flowers for, just after my husband.
That's nice.
We love to.
Show the flower.
Show us.
I love peonies, I love roses, I love ranunculus, and I
Wow.
have a dozen
Look at
flowers
that.
that I don't like, so these are spectacular.
Go to the toilet, we don't. Nice, that's nice, right? In case you get lost.
No, I like stars and I love maps. I don't know if you know that, but I love maps. Okay, sorry.
What better than have a microphone?
Yeah. It's a Malcolm Manhattan that my husband gave me for my birthday for Christmas.
It's not.
So, yeah.
So we thought you needed rest after 6 years of being with us.
Should.
Okay.
So we got you a gift certificate to this Ari's Ancient Bath. Ooh. Yes. Everything you
Yeah, full of
This is gonna be good. I'm thinking maybe like June 30th. Would be perfect.
Okay, and then after that spa, you guys can go to, Brooklyn Chop House. We have a $480 gift card.
One divided by 50, that's okay, because I can't take anything. Wow.
It was for talking. You should plus very generous, everybody.
Thank you, guys. I will say I am gonna take my family, because they're the ones who have heard all of you over the years when we were remote. I can tell you that my youngest knows Bruce Ehrman's voice by heart.
Yeah.
And knows Jeff very well, talks about liquors and license and hours. So my kids have all picked up something over the years and have heard many of you. And I want to say thank you to everyone for every disagreement. That is the most important to me, is the times that you've disagreed with something I've said, because it helps me grow and learn as a person. For the times that you agreed, but I love that too, because that actually helps us come to a consensus. And for those who just said yes and said, let's go, let's go. And with that, I am so honored and so grateful. This has been the best job I have ever had. And I understand it's a public service, but
It's a job.
the opportunity to serve the community and work with the community to make things better and to find ways to make things better from the youngest to the oldest and everybody in between who lives, works, visits. It's just an incredible opportunity. So I don't know how Chris does his job every day. I wouldn't wish it on 1,010 people. I love this, and God bless Chris for doing what he does. And with that,
Out of Queens, you know. And
where we should all be.
This is not it. It's something else that will be coming to your house.
Yes, hopefully it's edible.
All right.
All right.
And there's
Thank you.
food for everybody,
Yes.
please. It's a little special, it's not pizza today.
So Dinesh, can you start that from the beginning and then we're gonna start the meeting and, or you can grab.
Can I have
one yet?
Turn around, get a picture this way.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Stay there, yeah.
I know, who has a board number? I didn't see you pain in my ass, come back.
Zach, you don't wanna be in it?
Yeah,
That's the picture, I gotta take a picture. Ready?
Louise.
1, 2, 3.
yes, get Zach in.
One, two, three. 1, 2.
4, 5, 6, salute, hooray!
Tammy, Zach, is the floor open? Can I say something or should I not? I will say something. Tammy. Yeah.
Can't even.
No. As you have been, I remember Jim Stratton. I've been on this
Yeah.
board. And Tammy,
Yes, yes, sir.
you have had the hardest job of chair of any chairperson that and that's including 9/11 and Julie and Madeline, because what you went through was Michigas, was crazy. And 9/11, rah. But you had the heart and steered, I've been on this board a long time. I'm probably the oldest ranking member here, not in age.
No.
Tammy, I just want to repeat that you've steered it, and I don't, these little negative things about Tammy's system, no, I don't accept that. I accept that you steered with a very positive vision throughout a fucking shitty time, and, thank you.
Thank you. For those of you who don't know, Bob's known me since 9/11, since I was head of the Gateway Plaza Tenants Association, and Jeff was in the room with me then, and fighting to get back to Gateway Plaza. And then 4 or 5 years later, fighting to get new schools built in Lower Manhattan because they were gonna bus our kids to schools that were 125% overcrowded. So I've been around a while, always kind of fighting. There are a lot of people in the room who are elected reps who I've known for decades, somebody like Robert Atterbury and Tracy, who I've known in all my different roles in my different hats, whether it was Gateway Plaza, PTA, you name it. And it's been around 9/11, LMDC, I served on that, 9/11 United Charities, and all of those kinds of things. But of all the roles, this is the one that blends everything that I've ever done, because it's all about actually making a positive impact and improving it for everybody. Not the smallest groups, but everybody, and having the support from the office with Lucian before Zach, Onej, and Lucy, who's been my stalwart through everything, has been incredible. There are some people who know how to talk me off the ledge, and I call them screaming on the top of my lungs saying, I just need somebody to unplug me because I'm so angry I can barely speak. I try not to do that to my husband because he's got everything else in my life. But I couldn't do any of this work without my family and without, Michael is always the quiet presence who usually never shows up to a meeting. If he shows up to a meeting, everybody should wonder why. Right? And he's usually around with the kids. A lot of you have seen my kids who sat in the office while I was chair of Battery Park City Committee, and they would sit in the community board office doing homework, and then we'd all leave. So you've been a big part of my kids growing up for probably 10 years that I started dragging them over here. And I want to thank everybody for helping them understand what service and community is about. So, thank you.
Yeah.
And with that, let's get her rolling.
Roger, did you want to say?
Roger wanted to say something.
Very briefly.
Sorry.
Yeah, would you mind? I mean,
Go ahead.
yeah, I just want to, Tammy, first of all, say thank you. Bob's just reminded me that actually I served under 5 chairs, and I was honored to be retiring and leaving Lower Manhattan under your chairpersonship. And I totally agree with Bob. Having seen all the things that Bob and I and Bruce and Susan and others have seen, your calmness and patience to put up with some of the things that we had to go through during COVID and this most recent time is just unbelievable. So I think perhaps whilst I joined, in 1999, perhaps we saved the best chair for last. And I really want to say thank you so very much. I think the one thing that really for me sticks out was your patience and how you managed the remote meetings, which really became a really tough thing. I think we all were in our little caves during COVID, and we forgot that we actually had a community to work with. And so Tammy, I was really encouraging you to try and get in-person meetings again, so that we could look each other in the eye and not be in that sort of cave that we were in during COVID. Of course, I'm now in a cave in Western New Jersey. So I just want to thank you for everything, all your leadership and your patience and your commitment to the community. And if anyone knows, if any of you ever leave Lower Manhattan, and I wouldn't necessarily encourage you to, come over to Western New Jersey. If you're ever out in Western New Jersey, the Delaware River Valley, stop by the farm and catch up for a chat and a drink. Thanks, Tammy. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Roger.
Really?
Right, hopefully we have quorum.
All right. Okay, so raise your hand if you're a board member so we can do. Oh, that's even easier.
The man.
All right, I actually,
Allowed to eat now, or you want to wait?
everybody eats, let's take a 5-minute break. I'm overwhelmed, and so this would be great because I can get myself set.
Yeah.
And everybody have a bite to eat, save me some salad, please.
Yes.
Oh, we have a microwave, we had a little issue trying to get to the door.
So, okay.
It's one day.
Some soup? That's all.
I had no.
No, I do.
Yes.
I like that.
It was a question and salad. You're gonna,
Okay. But, you know.
I don't want to start. No, because. Stare at the back of his head.
The years go by.
All right. Wow.
Exactly. 10 minutes.
How are you? Oh, it's very simple. In other words. That was. Sit down. It's open. How do you? Was an excellent wall. So it's all. Was healthy and. So wonderful.
Your 1 minute warning. The public
Still has no, still has. Right. Tammy.
Oh, it's back there?
Somehow, Randy's there.
All right.
There.
Good. Sweet.
Yes, my dear.
It actually looks like our.
Howard.
You can't bring that right. I love it. There's a room to be here. So, I will challenge myself to.
Okay, public session?
Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline Liang. I'm the community outreach coordinator at Hudson River Park Trust.
Hold on.
Louder, okay?
I think we have to start the official meeting first.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry about that.
Thank you.
I'll stay here. Stay back.
And then talk louder. When.
All right, just give me 1 sec so we can get everything started. All right, Onish. Hit the button, please. Okay, so welcome, everybody. Thank you for your patience. It's 7:01 on Tuesday, May 26th of 2026. This is the Community Board 1 full board meeting. I'm Tammy Meltzer, Chair of Manhattan Community Board 1, and we're going to open with the public session. And our first speaker is
Jacqueline Liang.
and 7:01, Jacqueline Liang. Welcome from the Hudson River Park Trust.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jacqueline. I'm the community outreach coordinator at the Hudson River Park Trust. As many of you know, our park runs from Camber Street to West 59th Street along the west side waterfront. And we are so excited to be sharing with you some of our upcoming events for the summer season today. So earlier this month, we kicked off our summer season with the Submerged Marine Science Festival, where over 4,500 attendees joined us for a day of fun, interactive activities. Starting June 1st, we'll have our Healthy on the Hudson series return with 3 community workout classes for all fitness levels. And these classes include yoga, Pilates, HIIT, and conditioning. You can find them on piers 25, 46, 97, and 64. We'll also launch our Big City Fishing program starting June 13th for budding and seasoned anglers of all ages, and it's a really great, fun, relaxing time. Also coming up next month is our Youth Pride Fest on Pier 84, and we're partnering with the Hetfix Martin Institute for a day of fun, live music, and community resources. Our Wet Lab Aquarium in Pier 40 will be opening June 6th and have opportunities for free tours during our Wet Lab look-ins, which will happen Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And in the Wet Lab, we're also hosting monthly Science After Dark events for audiences 18+. And this Thursday, May 28th, we'll have Ask a Scientist featuring a talk from scientists working on the Gateway Tunnel project. I've also brought our spring and summer events calendars with me today, and you can also visit our website at hudsonriverpark.org/events. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we are not doing questions for her today because today was her first time at CG1. We're going to be really gracious about that. And perhaps, you know, Robert's here. He comes to meetings often enough. If you were curious about the Battery Park City Authority's resiliency project, as it relates to the Hudson River Park Trust, they will be presenting at the Hudson River Park Advisory Council on June the 9th. So I encourage anyone and everyone, if you want to hear about the mooring fields, the sailing club, Pier 25, Pantan Spot, and Pier 26, that David, there you are, thank you. If you're interested in any of that zone, you should go and hear some details. We've asked for details. We hope they come to the June 9th meeting. So thank you very much. All right, with that, we're going to take a second. So for those of you who may remember, we hired Martine Johansson this in May. She is our part-time urban planner at land use. She was gracious at the land use meeting and environmental protection this month and has already been jumping in full feet, learning the process, learning the board, but she has not met everybody and we didn't tell her she had to be here tonight, but she is online. So Martine, let's welcome.
Welcome.
Hey, everybody. Sorry I'm missing the party. It looks like a lot of fun from what I can see from the owls. I've met a few of you already. Just wanted to introduce myself so you know what the face behind Martine Johannesson actually looks like. I'll mainly be helping the EPC committee and the land use committee going forward, but feel free to reach out to me. I think my email got sent around, but I can also put it in the chat so everybody has it. Looking forward to working together.
And if you need to reach them, you email them, but please make sure when you are looking to talk to Martine, that you are not doing it without the chair of the relevant committee. Because Martine is not an individual consultant for the individual board members. They are a consultant for the board. So make sure if it's about land use, you're CCing the land use, and then the land use chair and Zach will take care of it from there. Alrighty? Anybody have any questions for Martine? Martine, thank you so much for taking time from your vacation, and I so apologize for that. But thank you.
Don't apologize. Good to see you. And thanks again, Tammy, for all of your work.
Welcome. All right. And let's get going into the public session. We do have people from the public who are here to speak. I'm pulling up the spreadsheets. Okay. So, we're gonna do Jacqueline Liang. Nope, Jacqueline just went, sorry. Benjamin Bakash. Benjamin. Is Benjamin online? Yes, Ben is online. There you go. You will see. Let's just move them up.
Hi there, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Welcome.
Okay, great. Thanks so much. My name is Ben Bakash. I am a local resident. I live at 195 Hudson Street. I am speaking today in opposition to the 205 Hudson Street extension of operating hours for the Chefscape DBA Rosa space. 195 Hudson is probably the closest residential building to the Rosa space, and I am certainly the closest unit in that building to Rosa. The building is located at the Rosa building is located at the corner of Hudson and Desbrosses, which is a corner already mired in a lot of quality of life issues between the Holland Tunnel, incessant street construction, the event spaces at 2 Desbrosses and 10 Desbrosses. And I have serious concerns about Rosa extending its operating hours and becoming a de facto extension of those event spaces. I also just want to call out, I believe the agenda item and application call out the address as 205 Hudson Street, but Rosa's address is actually 203 Hudson Street, which is, it's a different space, unless I'm misunderstanding the application. But very much opposed to this. The corner is a serious mess already, and adding to that is not good for the community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ben. Next person is going to be Michael Dema.
Hi, thank you for having me.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
Welcome.
So what happened is, I'm a resident of 80 North Moore Street in Independence Plaza. I have a problem with a food truck right outside our residential street. I object to most food vendors anyway in the streets of this city. I think it's a quality of life issue, especially just in general. So I've been making the effort to try to get this particular vendor out of the way. He's pretty sharp. He knows how to be savvy, and the rules seem to get ignored, as it was in the Battery Park City paper this week about the amount of baseball caps and food vendors right outside City Hall. Okay, so with that being said, last year I gave a letter to a petition to the Borough President's office, who in turn gave me a letter, but back and forwarding it to the precinct and sanitation. Unfortunately, nothing much was done as much, but I took the same letter to the same office here, resubmitted it 4 weeks ago. I see some changes, but he's still there. He's still there with his dummy car with California plates and Illinois plates on his trucks. So I'm not sure why a New York City vending truck should have outside state plates to begin with, okay? So this is how they get around the system. So I'm here just to share with you, if anybody wants this copy of this letter, I'd be more than happy to give it to you to look it over, but I'm not happy with street vendors, the vending. They call them street vendors even though they're on the sidewalk. So we never figured that one out. I know how hazardous they are. They rip down the quality of life in this town all around. And with their umbrellas and their lights and their gasoline tanks and this and this. To be very short with you a little bit more. 25 years ago, when I was working at 14th Street and 6th Avenue, the messiest, dirtiest, embarrassing intersection in all of this city. And I did every effort to have City Hall help me clean it out while I was giving them the problems of traffic, crosswalks being too small, and sanitation baskets overflowing, and bus stops too short, boxes of my work to John Lou. And there wasn't much going on, but until a Holocaust survivor of 86 years of age was crushed by a truck making the turn on 14th Street. And it's in the Daily News if you want to Google it. That was like a knife in my heart. 2 minutes is up. Anybody have any questions?
What was the address again you're talking about, please?
My address is 80 North
No,
Moore.
no, the one you're complaining about.
Section.
Okay, got it.
80 North Moore Street.
You know the vendor.
And, there's a Bose Eats in time. So if you want a copy, just raise your hand, I'll walk it over.
Says Northmore and Greenwich.
North Moore,
Right.
Brennan,
You want
thank
a
you.
copy of the Borough President's office? They were helpful, but, he was suggesting that, the health department might have more power, but to see out-of-state plates on this clown.
Okay,
And anybody else?
leave them with Lucy if you'd like, and,
Lucy.
Lucy is at the desk over there.
There's two there. Anybody else? Just one more thing if I can.
No.
That's it, it's over.
That's it.
Barry Park City News, they're talking about how the vendors are out of control.
I got you. All right,
Just good evening, both.
Thank
you. Michael.
Thank you.
Okay, Justin Davies,
Yep.
you're next.
Yeah, I also live in 199.
Please, you have to rise, and because we're recorded on Owls, you have to state your name, please. Come on over here.
Yeah.
Before my 2 minutes, can I just try to understand, because I have the same question as, the previous resident of 195. I can't figure out if the liquor license for 205, if they're trying to change Rosa, which is kind of around the corner on, Hudson Street, or DeBroches, which is the one straight across from our building. So can anyone explain, because 205 Hudson, as far as I know, is the whole space. 3 years ago, we went through this, we got stipulations put on that.
That's the same location.
It is.
So there's one that's empty now, but there's one with Rosa in it. So are they changing Rosa?
Changing Rosa, correct?
Yes. Well, they're not moving, it's still 205.
It's the existing, it is the existing restaurant that is on Hudson, that was given stipulation, that is coming back as requested if there have been no problems with the specific restaurant. Unrelated to the event venues, it's only the restaurant that has come, correct?
Okay, so they're trying to change the old stipulations on the entire, but
Just the restaurant that already is in operation.
okay.
Do you want to think about it and then come back up?
No, look, I'm an empty space there. Rosa was just built out, so, okay, but in any event, I can speak the same. Yeah, so
Okay, you're 2 minutes. Give it a shot. Introduce yourself and here we go.
Justin Davies, I live at 195 Hudson. I've lived there for 13 years. I recognize many of the faces here because unfortunately, we've been through this many times, with this particular applicant. I know we just said we want to kind of separate, this space from the event spaces, but I don't think we can because all of those spaces that he is the owner of, have just contribute to the chaos on that block. There's kids sleeping, routinely woken up. They throw weddings where, elephants and horses walk down the street. That block is literally treated like something from the Vegas Strip, and it's disruptive. You can't sleep. It goes on continuously. And I don't understand why on such a small space in a residential community, we would be allowing a third space to stay open until 2 AM. We have the 2 event spaces, we have a fourth space. We're gonna have a fourth space. People live here, they need to wake up early, they need to go to their jobs, kids need to sleep. And yet we have people out there creating it, literally treating that block like it's the Las Vegas Strip. And this is a continuing pattern where there'll be good behavior until a license is changed or new stipulations are allowed. And then once that application is accepted, the behavior starts right in again. And I read the stipulations saying that they weren't going to create parking cones with illegal parking spots. I don't know if I sent I sent pictures of literally they stand out there and block half the street every single day with cones. There's buses that park there and idle. These guys create havoc, absolute havoc on this block. I've been there for 13 years. They're destroying the quality of life and allowing another plate space with live music. And by the way, I would request that we stipulate that this is only Rosa we're talking about because that was what the information that was just presented to me. And then lastly, there was zero community outreach. I had to learn about this wandering by the space and seeing the little sign in the window, zero community outreach because there's zero regard for the community.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let's see, we have James Montague. James, well, come on over here, introduce yourself.
My name is James Montague. I'm a resident of 195 Hudson Street. I'm a long-suffering resident of Billy Riley's shenanigans, but I would like to, before my time starts, could we actually make a request to really clarify what we're talking about? Because we've seen plans that say 205 Hudson.
That is correct.
The address of Rosa is 203 Hudson.
No, it's 205.
I just Googled it. It was Googled.
The time to start it.
So.
According to the state, New York State, it's 205.
It's what we understand.
No, stop, Paul.
Sorry.
We can only go, stop this. We can only go by what's in the state liquor authority. The state liquor authority has 205. That is what they came to us the last time with. That is what we have on the thing. It doesn't make a difference to me what Google says. It makes a difference what the state liquor authority says. Right? Because that's just,
Okay.
so they
I just
can't.
want you to understand.
I
there could be a
understand.
big switch going on there. I have to say that out loud.
So I just want to clarify that conversation is for committee and not for full board. So
Right.
this is specific to commenting and stating what your opinion is for the 2 minutes, and then we take that into consideration.
Exactly, because we've already discussed it in
Which one am I
committee.
talking about, right?
205, that is what we know. That is what the liquor license is. That's what their representatives came up to.
So 205 is currently empty.
So now hit play. Thank you.
Okay, so
Go.
205 is currently empty. As far as I know, as a resident, 203 is Rosa, and I believe there is a mix-up, possibly unintentionally. So living on Disbrosa Street, I've been there for 26 years. I've suffered innumerable sleepless nights. Patrons of 360 Tribeca rooftops urinating in the street. We have photographic evidence, vomiting, biting. The people who run the door there, they now use steel barriers that they put in the street. You can't get past. The coaches, as Justin said, idling. It is a massive quality of life issue when more and more people live in the city, have kids, live here, work here. You would think that there would be an ability for residents to come to CB1 and say, please help us. This is what I am asking tonight, simply because I know Billy Riley, I know Apogee, I've been a 25-year victim of it, and I don't also understand how we can have 4 bars in a 200-yard space with 2 p.m. time slots with live music. It just seems overkill, and it seems inappropriate. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Is there anyone else in the room who has not signed in online who is here to speak? Go ahead.
I'm sorry,
Come on.
also.
You have to come closer to the table, so come on over here, please state your name for the record.
Eileen Montague, also from 195 Hudson. The only thing I would want is to somehow stipulate this is for specifically the Rosa space. Whatever we do here, it seems like we're talking about the existing Rosa space. That's very important. So I just want to make that clear. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Eileen. Is there anyone else in the room? Is there anybody else online? We got a little wonky start, so I'm just going back to make sure.
They have a public session?
No, community board members are not allowed to talk during the public session.
This comes up, I have.
When it comes up in committee, absolutely. Okay, anybody else of the attendees, if you signed up online, please raise your hand. I think we're in good shape.
Grace, is anyone wants to give an update?
Perfect. Let me close the public session and then we'll do it right before the public hearing. How's that? All right, so with that note, seeing no one in the room nor online, we're gonna close the public session at 7:20. We're gonna do the public hearings. Does anybody have anything on the executive budget? And I don't see any signups for the public hearing. So, hearing and seeing none for the budget. Exhibit 2, for year 2027 executive budget. I'm gonna close the public hearing and bring us to business session. We'll do the updates of elected officials and then the adoption of the minutes. Okay, we are in the business session. Business session means only board members. Grace? Grace. Is she there?
It's still on. She says she needs a few more minutes.
Perfect. So guess what? She's got roll call. Let's do adoption of the 2026 minutes. I love the way this works. Brendan, take it away.
Amoruso. Oh, President. Sorry.
Hardin. Blank.
Blank, yes.
Brown Kennedy. Cameron.
Cameron, yes.
Cassell.
Cassell, yes.
Shane.
And yes.
Chapman.
Yes.
Charkoudian.
Charkoudian, yes.
Cole.
Yes.
Coleman.
Yes.
Carmen.
Yes.
Guccia.
Gucci, yes.
Curtis.
Curtis, yes.
Dimmitt.
Demick, yes.
Flores.
Flores, yes.
Friedman.
Friedman, yes.
Roman.
Roman, yes.
Galloway.
Galloway, yes.
Goodtime. Hernandez.
Yes.
James. Joyce.
Joyce, yes.
Kay. Cannell.
Canal, yes.
Capel. Where's the copy? Lerner.
Lerner, yes.
Lewinson. Lyon.
Yes.
Belzer.
Yes.
Mensley.
Yes.
Panya. Corey.
Corey, yes.
Rios. Robinson. Sean Scott.
Sean Scott, yes.
Shear. Star.
She's leaving.
Sorry, yes. Sorry, yes.
Sung.
Yes.
Thompson, yes. Townley.
Yes.
You.
Yes.
Zelter. Okay.
All right, Grace, you're on. Yay.
Is she ready?
Yeah, she's back. Hi, Grace.
Unmute.
You gotta unmute.
You're muted, Grace.
Unmute.
No, she doesn't know she's muted.
Grace, you're muted still.
I'm okay. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. Okay, just could not pass up the opportunity to give you exciting updates from Albany. I'll make it very brief, but I thought it would be really important to tell you about what we are doing right now. So the budget is like 55 days late, but we are slowly getting through it. And through the budget, we have been passing some very important legislation for New Yorkers. we just passed a package of immigration bills in response to activities by ICE and in response to Trump's aggressive deportation agenda. This legislation, there's a number of things in here, but very briefly, the legislation prohibits state and local collaboration with ICE. It bans government resources from supporting ICE or immigration detention centers. It keeps ICE out of schools, places of worship, poll sites, and healthcare facilities, bans ICE agents from wearing masks or to hide their identity, and allows New Yorkers to sue federal agents who violate civil rights, and ensures all children can get a free public education regardless of their immigration status. We just passed another budget bill today, which included a bill to help stop super speeders. This bill will require people with more than 16 speed camera tickets in 1 year to have a speed limiter device installed on their vehicles. I think this is important given some of the accidents that we have seen in our community and important to keeping people safe on the streets. In addition, today's budget bill also included a huge victory for public sector workers. We are reforming Tier 6 to lower employee contribution rates and also to, in some circumstances, reduce the number of years that are required for retirement. For the teachers who have served 30 years, they are now able to retire at 58, which is 5 years less or sooner than they would otherwise be allowed to. And we're also boosting overtime-related retirement benefits for police, firefighters, and other public employees. This is going to impact over 500,000 New Yorkers. So I'm proud to have helped to support that. And I know this came up in previous community board meetings. So wanted to make sure people were aware that we move forward with that.
Okay, awesome. Grace, thanks so much. Anybody have any questions in the room for Grace? And please remember our new agreement. If it's, you get the first comment, if it's the same topic, second person comments. If it's more than 2 people who need to comment, it goes to committee and we invite the elected. Eric.
Yes, hi, Grace. I have a question about the Assembly bill as well as that Senate bill about charging retailers, is it manufacturers charging them a fee if they go above some set amount of packaging? And I think I saw your name as a supporter of it. Is that true?
Yes, it's called the packaging, well, it's called the PRRIA, and I don't know if I'm going to get something Packaging Reduction Act is what, I don't remember all of the letters of the acronym, but it is a bill to help encourage large companies to reduce the amount of packaging that they are using for their products.
I'm concerned that Eric, this is going to.
Eric, we have an opportunity to discuss this in committee because it passed an environmental protection. So please hold for committee discussion.
But Eric, let's talk offline. I will give you a call to talk about it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody, Justine?
Just a quick question, Grace. Hi, how are you? And the quick question is there any
Hi,
chance
Justine.
any chance at all of the Battery Park City bill, about the homeowners in Battery Park City, the condo owners? Is there any opportunity with the budget going forward of that even getting considered in the Assembly?
Charles Fall and I have made it one of our top priorities to get past this session. I don't want to make any promises because so many things can happen in the timeline that we have. But I am optimistic that we are going to get something done. And we're pushing very hard to get it done. And I think that leadership is aware that we are trying to do it, that we need to get it done.
Thank you so much.
Anybody else in the room?
Yes.
Any of our board members?
Joe Lerner.
You're up.
How did you come by the magic number of 16 speeding tickets and then the punishment.
11/16.
That's actually a good question. I did not write the bill.
Right.
But I am assuming that they based it on some statistical analysis around chronic speeders.
Well, I would think 10 is a chronic speeder. But anyway, thank you. Thank you for your report. Always love to hear.
Thank you.
All righty. I'm kind of with Joe on that.
I do
just
want to say
for-
one more thing, just one quick thing. I am aware of the contracts that Manhattan Youth. A number of people have contacted my office about the after-school contracts for Manhattan Youth, and working with the other electeds offices about that, because I know that impacts a lot of people, and people have been talking about it, and just want to make sure that people are aware that we are working on that.
Great, I appreciate that very much. Anybody else in the room? Alrighty, well, Grace, thanks for being a repeat tonight. So thank you very much for coming in and saying, enjoy Albany. I hope the weather's turned a little bit nicer than it was over the weekend.
Thank you. Let's go Knicks.
Yeah. Alrighty, so for any of our elected reps, who are in the room tonight, do we have other updates that you need to give? Hands up if you do. Fantastic. Let's start with Dan's office, Dan Goldman's office. Come on up.
Pardon me. My name's Josh. This is actually my first community board meeting.
It doesn't always go like this, just saying.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for the amazing spread. I feel spoiled. I will keep this very short. I have a printout that is a lot more expansive than anything I'll say. It's on the table back there. I just wanted to introduce myself. My name's Josh, BDA. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, welcome. Please make sure when you get your business cards, you send them around. We'll be happy to share all your deets.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, Dan, Byers. Okay, we're good with that. We've already done Grace. Sorry, I'm going down my checklist for state officials.
We have a new one from City Hall.
I usually do state and then city, so he'll be right after our state. Absolutely, I see him over my shoulder. Okay, Tracy, anything from Deborah's office?
No.
Okay, fantastic written reports. We love that. I don't see anybody from Assemblymember Hall's office, so we'll just quick go through. And this means we welcome, please tell me if I've got the name right, Obi?
Yeah, that's correct.
Lattimore. All right, welcome, and please introduce yourself from the mayor's office.
My name is Ovi Lattimore, the Manhattan Borough Manager from the Office of Mass Engagement, and just wanted to start by giving a sincere thanks and gratitude to you, Tammy. It was really inspiring hearing you get your flowers, and thank you for keeping communities like this going, especially during tough times like COVID. And my regrets for not being able to join in person this evening. Right now, unfortunately, I'm stretched a little bit thin as the only Manhattan representative with our office, but I am happy to report that we will be, I will be getting another teammates later this month. But with that being said, just want to give a quick introduction to our office. Again, this is stemming out of the Community Affairs Unit, so we're looking forward to continuing the important work that my predecessor did. Especially assembling any task force around any repeated issues within communities. But we're also trying to extend by starting our new Organize NYC. Through this initiative, we are launching our volunteer operas, where we're going to be door knocking, canvassing. Right now, our first issue is around the Rent Guidelines Board hearings. And to clarify, we are basically trying to spread awareness to get more folks to testify. Last year, only 400 people gave testimony in our public hearings, despite over 2 million people being in rent stabilized units. So we're going around to make sure people know the process and that they have the opportunity to make their voice heard. Additionally, we will be door knocking and canvassing around SNAP benefits. So unfortunately, due to the federal government, a lot of folks will be losing their benefits. So we're making sure by going out into different areas to make sure folks have the information about what they need to do so they can continue their benefits. And then the last point is that we also are doing our NYC 101 education series, where we'll be having basically not town halls, but educational events where we're talking about the affordability crisis and different issues that affect people's everyday life. Again, this is all in addition to continuing the work of the Community Affairs Unit, and look forward to eventually getting over there in person. Again, my apologies for not making it tonight, and meeting everyone in person. So thank you.
It's okay. You can come next month. We're delighted to have you anytime you want to show up. We are conveniently located at Link Center. So if you're crossing City Hall, just stumble across the street, but be careful when you're crossing the intersection.
I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah. All righty. Well, thank you very much and welcome. There's a hand in the room, so.
Thank you so
Go
much.
ahead, Justine.
So nice to meet you, Justine Kucha, and I just wanted to make a comment about the Manhattan Youth and Recreation decision that was made by the administration that was taking away 13 business schools from the operation of Manhattan Youth. And my comment about it is that when I was a single mom, struggling to get to work, to have my child at the time, I'm now remarried and that's not a problem to me, but at the time, the only way I was able to function and have a job and support myself and have my child I knew was safe was through Manhattan Youth. Because once that child was in school, Manhattan Youth Program started the day school started, was available whenever school was closed. There were options you could do. It was affordable. And it also went until 5:50 p.m. And they didn't fuss when you got there at 6, because I always got there at 6. But having that option taken away from 13 schools, and I believe from our resolution that we have here, there's a bunch of the schools that have written in and said, please don't do this. I just want to throw it out there that there are some after-school programs that are comprehensive and really do help support the working people, and some that don't. And Manhattan Youth is one that does. So think about that. And I have no idea what the other programs are, so I have no comments about what's put in place. But I just have to say a big plug for Manhattan Youth and what a savior it was. And it still is for people. My kids are grown up now, but it's a savior. Thank you.
Trisha, you're next.
Thank you.
It's true. Hi, I also would like to say a quick something about that. Very nice meeting you, Ovi. I'm so grateful that you're here to hear us. The resolution, I will be presenting it shortly. And I want to make sure it's understood that we are not opposed to the diversification of providers. I think it's important, actually, and you'll see that in the resolution. I think what happened here is that they announced it on May 14th, right? These parents make their decision for this coming fall last December. And so this after school provides all of our sports in New York City. There are no school-based coaches and school-based tutors and school-based all of that is given to our public school children vis-a-vis our after school programming. Getting those relationships right, and Manhattan Youth has a tremendous track record for longevity in those positions. These are relationships that the kids and the parents build with these people over many, many years. And the permitting process and the, clearances involved in bringing on new people and getting the chemistry right at these schools is lengthy. So our resolution calls upon putting it on a hold and making sure they give enough notice. Approximately a year would be, in my opinion, after doing this 18 years, would be the minimum. I think that where it could go well, because the new providers aren't set up well either, by dealing with parents who are angry. And so I'm really appreciative that you're here to hear the nuances in our voice, and in the spirit of, Community Board 1, we're always open to new things, but we're really concerned about this one. So thanks so much for listening.
Of course. And thank you guys both for raising that. Yeah. I look forward to seeing the resolution as well, and we'll be passing it along.
Mitch?
Obi, my name is Mitchell Froman. I was wondering if I have permission to call your office, maybe if Zach could give me your number so I can discuss something with you offline. There are some people that I know that are having some red tape bureaucratic issues with SNAP benefits, and I would just like to be able to help them.
Yes, yeah,
So,
yeah,
is
please.
that okay?
Yeah, no, that'd be great. I work with Yuri Frankel, who's our citywide director of constituent affairs. So we'd be happy to try to figure something out.
Absolutely. Thank you, Obi.
Yep, we gotcha. All right, Obi, thank you very much for coming. Don't be a
course.
stranger. We won't be.
Appreciate you. And congrats again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know we have a rep from Mark Levine's office here, but did you want to give a report or you
Yeah, just quickly.
Come. gotta come over for the camera to catch you?
State your name and office.
Evelyn Collado, New York City Controller, Mark Levine's office. I'm the Manhattan Borough Director. Just a couple of things. I know that probably most of you are aware that last month we issue or release a new initiative, the Housing Initiative, which will be investing $1 billion per year for the next 4 years, $4 billion in affordable housing. This initiative will support new affordable housing creation and also preservation of existing affordable housing. There's more on our report online, an email and phone call away. Let me know if you have questions about this. There are a lot of things that are still in motion, so they're, at this point, I won't be able to answer a lot of your questions. And then the second thing is we just released the first of its kind report on AI, the AI impact on the New York City economy. These are forecasts, these are simulations, with 5 different scenarios and about the potential impacts on New York City finance and economic development. So look it up and let me know if you have questions. My email is ECOLLAD as David at comptroller.nrc.
You were with another office before you were with Mark.
Of course, I don't want to.
I remember.
I was with Brad, actually.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, I remember.
Yes. Well, let me know.
All right, thanks very much, everyone. All right, that puts us down to,
Okay.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Were you talking about, investing the pension fund in affordable
Yeah.
housing? So I saw some of the posts about it. I'm concerned that if New York City is investing in private development, could that be a conflict of interest when we have to regulate these developers? Because I'm assuming that the developer would be controlling everything, probably have majority, but then would that create a conflict of interest where it, to regulate something for which the New York City employees have a vested interest?
I don't think so. This is something that is done already. We do invest in affordable housing. This is just like an expansion of those efforts.
Anybody else? Okay, fantastic. Thanks so much for joining us and welcome back. Andrew, you're up from Borough President's office.
I am Andrew from the Manhattan Borough President's office. First off, congratulations to Tammy for your 6 years as chair. Out of all the chairs I've worked with across the 2 community boards, Manhattan Community Boards 1 and 2, you've been around the longest, so 6 years, that's a long time.
I think there's mold under my chair. No,
And, no, it's great work, it's been great working as chair. Secondly, regarding community board applications, we're gonna make announcements, decisions later this week, so please stay tuned. Third, tonight, at this time, right now, we're having our Eid celebration in Midtown. Fourth, we're having a Jewish Heritage Month event on Thursday, the 28th of May. It'll be in this building, in the mezzanine. We're doing this in conjunction with the comptroller's office from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. There's gonna be kosher food and beverages. There's also flyers in the back table. And the last 3 things I'll mention is that we have flash grants. Nonprofits can get reimbursed up to $20,000. There's a flyer in the background for more information. We're partnering with the Whitney Museum to host the Whitney for Pride event. Free tickets on 5th of June from 1 to 5 p.m. as part of Whitney's Free Friday nights for folks to attend. And we're launching a Manhattan Borough Book Club. Join the Borough President, Radwan Siegel, author Russell Shorto, and Manhattan Borough historian Harold Holzer to discuss their first book, Harold's first book, their first book, The Island at the Center of the World, the epic story of Dutch Manhattan and the forgotten colony that shaped America. So this Borough Book Club discussion will take place on Tuesday, 16th of June, from 5 to 7 p.m. at the New York Historical Museum, or New York Historical Society.
There you go.
Okay, and that's our report this evening. Thank you.
Any questions for? Fantastic. Thank you very much. Seeing none online. I think Max boogied on us from Councilmember Martinez. They were off to another event.
Yes.
I think that leaves me. You're last up.
Hi all, I'm Ariel from Public Advocate Jamani Williams' office. Just two quick updates for y'all. As you might know, Public Advocate Williams is the first documented elected official in the country with Tourette's syndrome. So we're really excited that earlier this month, the City Council passed our resolution to recognize May 15th to June 15th as Tourette's Syndrome Awareness Month. And we're hoping that this will help raise awareness of folks living with Tourette's and other disabilities as well. We also have a report coming out tomorrow on the sort of status of internet in New York City and the potential for a municipal internet program to reduce costs for New Yorkers. That's all I've got. Thank you.
Go next.
Let's go next.
And-
Yeah.
go next.
There we go. One man parade.
You know, we were getting a lot of messages about it in the office today. Walking around with a big Knicks
Yeah.
necklace and Knicks cape.
Sorry, sorry. All righty. So with that, we'll close updates from our elected. Thank you very much. Thank you everybody for being super brief and being under your time limit. That was important. We're taking it to Zach, District Manager report.
I am going to take that same cue and I'm just gonna say next.
Awesome, love that. Next. That's hilarious. Okay, so, May was a crazy busy month. If I didn't call you back, I didn't text you back, I'm gonna apologize. That's actually a picture from my daughter's graduation, which was Mother's Day weekend. That's the whole fam. So I wanna say thank you for your patience and I'm really sorry I've ignored you, but it's been a really busy month. And then last weekend, if you saw me roaming by, BMCC, and thank you for those who showed up. And Daron and I both have daughters who dance, and there were 7 shows last weekend, which was my birthday weekend as well. And then this weekend, we were back in Syracuse, moving my daughter home from college. So if you were wondering why you didn't hear from me, there you go. All right, next slide. Okay, it has been a busy month. That is the Pollinator Gardens up at Liberty Park. The month started out after the full board with the follow-up meeting with the Port Authority regarding a new 9/11 World Trade Center bombing memorial located in a planting bed. We have asked them numerous times to come, and the offer is still there for them to do some kind of public review, because doing a leadership briefing is not considered actually community board engagement. It is just a briefing that is done before a committee meeting. We'll see. Okay, then the following day, there was a BPCA strategic plan breakfast preview. Outstanding their new long-term vision and priorities. I do understand there were a couple people in this room who were there, and I understand that there will be a follow-up public presentation we look forward to. I'm not sure if there was any engagement in terms of prior to the launching of the new strategic plan for public and purview. We haven't heard anything yet on that. April 30th was also the Poets in the Park unveiling for the Elizabeth Burger, which I think I might have missed, so I'm sorry, and I hope somebody else was there. I think Chris was there, definitely. I had my own interview, the 5th, in case you're wondering. I hope to be back with you all. HPD, I attended a What's Housing Growth Strategy briefing to understand how it could affect CB1. And then the Battery Conservancy Board meeting, which the chair of the board sits on. The next thing that they have is if you haven't followed recently, their social media is now incredibly robust. And June 9th, they have their gala, which recognizes Lori Price, who has retired, and Paola, who you've all met already. And then we had a preview of the housing presentation, which will come in June with George and Martine. Downtown Alliance board meeting, SEG had a spring event that was very nice over at Sadie's. We had a preview meeting for July 4th. Everybody now knows they're over by Pier 17, exactly as they did last year. We're hoping that the public will have the same opportunities that we had last year. That's to be determined, and Lucy asks me every week, so I promise I'll let you know as soon as I do. We got a call from the Stand Group, or the lobbyists for the JFK Staten Island Ferry, because they are looking to park at Pier 15. We asked them to come and make a public presentation, but we hope that they come in June. We had our Battery Park City construction meeting. We did a Pier 15 walkthrough after our resolution was passed last month. EDC, Dock NYC, the South Street Seaport Museum, City Cruises, the Parks Department, Hornblower, and Battery to Bridges all did a walkthrough about the present conditions and the public access agreements that exist and who operates what around Pier 15 and the land side all the way to the ends. We did Zach and I did a walkthrough with the New York Stock Exchange and the Downtown Alliance, having discussions about how we can all be better neighbors together and improve that area. It's been closed off since 2018, and yet we haven't seen any massive improvements in terms of beautification. We've seen a lot of security measures, but not the kind of things that enhance the public's environment. Borough Board was the 21st. Anyone can attend Borough Board virtually. It's a lot of fun. Pat usually is there. Alice comes. It's one of those things that you really hear what's going on in the other community boards, and I cannot tell you how that partnership is important. It is critical, and this is a great meeting to see what's going on. Our training proposal, we reviewed what's going on. We have confirmation for June 23rd. It's 6 to 7:30. We're going to keep it sharp, which means tight, because nobody wants to be here that long after that. And it's open for all board, public and full and office. All right. So the poster was at my daughter's graduation. And it really, they talked, Basil Sagos was actually the featured speaker from DEC. They talked a lot about go on and be mighty and how you start very small and you can be mighty. And to me, that spoke to me from the community board. We may be small. We don't have as many resources as the developers, the lobbyists, the electeds, or anybody else, but we really can be mighty. So advocacy works when we make good trouble. Please make good trouble. I thank the people in the room, for example, who spoke up about the Washington Market Park and the lawn that was there and the problems that they were having. We spoke to Parks Department. I don't know if you've seen it recently. This was before they closed the entire area. They're working on the drainage and the water, which will hopefully get us grass again. Okay, Borough President appointments will be by the end of the week. And I think full board meeting is June 25th. It's a new date. It's a Thursday. Please put it in your calendars. Elections are that night. It's important to remember. Also in June will be environmental protection information for both the BBJ and the Battery Park City project. Regular trainings from the Borough President, which include COIB and the harassment and all the rest of that will start in the fall. CB1's housing final report and analysis will be in June at LZE. And stay tuned for committee leadership and change coming forward. I will say a good thing about Pier 15, they actually were so far responsive in the conversation with the EDC. Next slide. All right. So when I say see something, say something, I got harassed again in the Battery by the ticket hawkers myself and told that I couldn't come into the Battery because it was closed unless I had a ticket. And then a little while later, there was, don't worry, the boats are sold out. We've got a helicopter tour for you. Oh, God. Yeah. So I filed my 311 complaints and I took pictures of everybody. And I think that it's one of those really super important things. You got to keep doing it, right? We have a joint committee meeting for June with Youth and Ed and Waterfront, full board meeting. I wanted to tag out the broadsheet only because the baby falcon alert was really cute. And that's like the fun nature things. We have so much of nature that's closed off right now for construction. Finding something like the Falcon Cam is actually a fun thing. And while I was at the Battery Conservancy, it was in a beautiful office, and that's a fantastic picture of the marine terminal. So reporting it to 311 is how the agencies know that we need help. Posting it on social media, while it really does make you feel great to be able to say it, doesn't help us. So whether it's a parked food vendor that has smokes and gas, whether it's the situation around City Hall, whether it's a ticket hawker that bothers you, whether it's somebody parked where they shouldn't be. Social media is lovely, but just file 311 reports, because then the city tags and sees the problems. And with that, I close my chair report after Wendy comments.
I have tried to call 311 more than once. That's what you're talking about. People being aggressive when you're going in and out, trying to help tourists get to, Castle Clinton.
Yeah.
They ask you for an address, and I'm trying to describe, the address. I've said, and I told them the park, I told them the subway stop, and they just couldn't figure it out. What address do you use when you're recording that?
The corner of Broadway and Battery Place.
They couldn't figure that out with me.
I do it online. I don't call because I find them frustrating. I'm the one on the online, as on the downtown Alliance.
So I don't have a chance to report it to to whoever the 311 system is, but when you call, they can't.
We'll get you a street address, because it's easy to figure. We could use the one right across the street from the museum.
Yeah,
And
I tried to do that, and it was just very, very difficult, but I have tried.
Keep going. We'll help you get an address. The other thing I wanted to mention was for the stock exchange, we're gonna try and organize a tour. You get these really cool coins when you go on a tour there. So if you're interested in a tour, all right, we'll try and get something set up.
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. Richard.
Happy to report that they were sodding Washington Market Park this weekend.
Awesome. That is great. Next lunch. That is fantastic news. All right, the First Precinct Community Council is this Thursday. Again, if you have a traffic, a crime, a quality of life concern that involves NYPD in the first, please show up there. We will start to get the 5th precinct. We're trying to work on getting them to get us their information as well. A little tougher, but we'll get there. Go ahead, Rosa.
Question is just like back, but so what ended up happening after the walkthrough with the stock exchange? Very interested.
We recommended that we will help them partner with the residential buildings on a long-term plan to be able to. It's not just about the stock exchange needs or the business needs, and especially in a neighborhood that's rapidly changing to residential. But if you sit in that space, you know that the stock exchange has massive needs when they have clients there. So a lot of fixes don't necessarily work because there's no staging area. They don't have a delivery zone and things like, and you can't put on the back of a, tuk-tuk, staging equipment and the 30-foot poles and the 18 feet banners, like that kind of stuff doesn't work. It comes in for, rental equipment. So trying to find ways that we can work with them. We did talk to them about, what do they call them? The sugar cubes at the top of Wall Street that are there by NYPD because apparently the bollards no longer work. So we had all kinds of long-term plans. We suggested doing park pop-ups that like the Downtown Alliance has experience doing that might be very beneficial, and talk to them about pros and cons of some things and getting all the residential buildings so we could develop a coalition to have a longer term better plan.
Point at that gated area on Wall Street directly to the building is not necessary for any of those things that you just mentioned, and it really forces the entire pedestrian population to squeeze onto a very, very narrow sidewalk.
Yep.
And all you see is like one guy who's over there sometimes.
Yeah, well, we can catch you up on the long-term history of that and what happens, but the goal is to get all the buildings together and to have it be a local solution that's locally supported, because we have seen what happens when one stakeholder makes a solution and all the others don't agree. So we're gonna try and get everybody together and find a good solution looking forward. Yep. I won't talk about the things, but yeah. Family Day at the PAC is coming up. We want to remind everybody, Saturday, May 30th. It's a great event. It's free. It's open to the public. I would love if everybody goes, and actually, Ovi, if you can help them send that out, that would be great for Family Day. Yeah. The PAC needs some love. It needs some locals. Next. Motion to limit debate. We want to get out of here before midnight, please. My poor husband doesn't want to sit through an entire meeting. All right, Susan Cole. first is gonna go Susan and then next Trisha, because Trisha has, to leave. And I promised her she could jump the queue.
So, thank you. In front of you, you have our slate for the election in June. We have 2 people running for vice chair and the others are unopposed. We have the June election will be the 25th. It will be digital. The deadline, we'd like to have, if you would like, a statement from the candidates, and you could speak at the June meeting for 3 minutes. That's it. If you feel like it, and why you want to be on an officer. My boss, Lucy, what else am I missing?
I don't know, I won't feel late, but did you say any nominations off the floor? So this evening?
When do we get tonight?
Today's the last day.
Today is the last day. Thank you, Lucy. If anybody wants to nominate themselves or nominate someone from the floor. You want to nominate somebody? I don't want to hear about digital yet.
One clarification.
Yes.
The candidates who speak, they have 3 minutes, they can do whatever they want in that 3 minutes. Speak and take questions or not.
Thank you very much. All right, so there you are. Since I have none from the floor, this is our slate that we will vote on in June.
Only the vice, because the other ones are uncontested.
The ones are uncontested, so I can't say let's do whatever, but, so that's it. And, I look forward to seeing you all on the 25th.
So for everybody who remembers, for anything that's uncontested, usually the secretary,
Yeah.
who happens to be running, but is still in, casts the one vote if it's an uncontested for the full board. All right, and then the election is done by decision. All right, thanks. Susan, thank you very much. We're gonna fast forward to youth and ed because Trisha is in between. Trisha, you go before me, you're next.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Tammy and everyone. My newly minted graduate is going to walk through the door at any moment, so I really appreciate letting me introduce this resolution early. I also want to thank Tammy. I'm sad I'm not there, but I wanted to maximize my time at the meeting for her leadership. It has been just an honor to work with you as our chair. Thank you so much for your support and your incredible hard work. It really was fantastic watching you and experiencing you in this role. So, okay, so this resolution we sort of touched on briefly when we were meeting Ovi, and Manhattan Youth was notified in mid-May that they were losing 13 of their contracts. And so when we did the deep dive into this, we were able to see that, while they maintain some of the contracts in our community board, as we know, our middle school kids here don't all go to school in this community board. It's a district-wide program. And several of the schools that our kids go to for middle school got some really abrupt and confusing and upsetting news that the after-school programs would be changing. And that really is the theme of this resolution. Again, we're not weighing in on the providers that were awarded. We actually don't know enough to be able to do that, nor are we against the diversification of the providers. If the city feels as though that's something they want to explore, that's completely fine. But what happened was DYCD, which is the presiding agency, when asked for a reason, provided nothing. And which is always disappointing, because when you don't have transparency in the agencies and they're not clear on why they decided to do this, and especially why they decided to do this right now, it just gives room to all people jumping to conclusions and, just this anxiety-ridden kind of backlash. And we've been here too many times. And my hope is that, we had a great thing happened recently when, the city heard us in regards to that previous resolution about co-locating the AI school. We're really hoping we have the same results here, because this is not the right approach to this particular effort. The parents and families, the kids apply in mid-December for their middle schools that they will be going to the following September. Those acceptances went out a long time ago. Everybody knows where they're going. And these parents make the decision about where to send their kids to middle school, oftentimes largely dependent upon the after-school programs, because it's all of the enrichment. You know, my daughter was a track runner. I said this at the executive meeting. She was very specific about the fact that she wanted to run track in middle school. You know, different programs have different offerings. And so it's a really important component when families choose middle schools, no matter where they go. And I think it was incredibly unfair for them to be told that, oh, sorry, that after school program that you got into is no longer available to you. And we can't tell you anything about the new provider or if they will have any of the same offerings because it hasn't been developed yet. And yet it's going to be put into place for this coming fall. You know, there's enough anxiety in this application process, if any of you are familiar with it, with applying to middle schools. It's an incredibly competitive situation. City just does a pretty good job at it, but it still causes a lot of anxiety for a lot of families. It's the first time they're not going to a zone school. And so to add this to that mix was incredibly unfair. So the resolution calls upon DYCD to put this on hold and to, if they want to move forward with you know, this action, to at least give it a full year so that those middle schools, you know, the middle school fairs are in the fall in October, so that the families know who the providers are, know what the programs are going to be that they offer. And this includes tutoring too, people. Yes.
Tricia?
Yes.
I think we said it all, and the rest was really detailed.
Yes.
Can we open it up for questions? I don't want to,
Sure.
I need, yeah. I want to be cognizant for your time and the people who may have questions.
Fine. That was it.
Eric and then Morton.
So my understanding is I attended the meeting, exec committee. So the schools prepare the program with Manhattan Youth. They're all outside of CB1, right?
All the children from CB1 are eligible to attend there because they're middle school. There's no we have one zoned middle school, which is on the list of who got lost, and every other middle school is a choice. The only zoned where you can only go is in elementary. Middle school is an application process, and if you don't get what you want, but you could go to your zoned one, and one of the zoned schools is on the list here also.
That's really
Depending on
important
where-
point that Tammy just made, is that our zoned middle school, like if all fails and you don't get into your choice ones, that's where you're assigned. And they also pulled that contract.
Okay? Morton.
Well, that's exactly what I was gonna say, because, I mean, it's no secret, the Simon Baruch School is a zone school for most people in the, eastern part of Friday. And all these other schools are, popular choices for, other people kids who are, graduating from elementary school and going to middle school from our district. So even though schools in our district might not be cut out of this Manhattan Youth, a lot of kids in the district would be affected by it.
And our zone school is one of the ones that was cut.
Okay.
Anybody else have any other questions in the room?
I agree with Tammy 100%, I mean, with Tricia 100%, because I'm not on that committee. In a nutshell, what's the reason, is it just economic?
We have no idea.
Okay,
The city did not provide a reason at all that we are aware of.
I was just trying to understand why.
Yeah, so are we.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Just one comment, but that, the after-school program, especially middle school, is really cheap, so I can't imagine it being economics.
That's
I'm
actually
sorry.
free.
It's free, you're right.
It's
Oh my
free.
gosh, so yes.
It's
even better.
inexpensive.
But one more thing to note,
Yes.
on the top of page 3 of 4, I think you want to get rid of a word "are," it doesn't make sense. Just the typo.
Maybe your.
Provider relationships, it's not a new sentence, it's a continuation of previous sentence. Other than that,
Right, would you agree? Yeah, just get rid of the word "are," typo.
Okay, gotcha.
Quick question,
Yeah.
and I'm very supportive, I actually went to lab, so
Yeah.
I am one of those kids. so-
Exactly. Justine, give your typo change to Onesh, please.
These letters of support, who were they written to?
Manhattan Youth.
They were written.
No,
No?
no.
To the city?
They're written to DYCD, the city, and most importantly, city council and the city council, speaker and local city council members.
I think it's over
They're not-
3,600 now, 3,600 signatures in 1 week.
Yeah, I mean, the pushback has been amazing.
Okay, anything else? Sean, did you have a question? All right, the
Second.
question's been called, the question's been seconded. This is a vote by affirmation, okay? And if you have a separate vote, say your last name and what it is. Is there anyone, make sure your cameras are on as well, please. Is there anyone opposed? Hearing and seeing none, either online or in the room, are there any abstentions? Say your name and what your vote is.
Wendy Chapman abstains.
Chapman abstains. Are there any other abstentions in the room? Jason Friedman, please say. Seeing no abstentions online, are there any recusals?
I recuse, even though I'm not on these contracts at all, but I recuse.
Uh,
Manhattan Youth is.
Bob Townley recuses
Dimick recuses.
and Dimick recuses. Fantastic. Is there anybody else? Motion passes. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Really appreciate it. Let's go straight to the Dining Out NYC application. You have it in front of you. I'm not gonna relitigate this, so are there any questions?
Call the question.
Second.
This is the Dining Out. We're an executive committee. It's the first one, the outdoor seating that was at 255 Vesey.
So seating, no alcohol.
Outdoor seating, no alcohol. Betty, we did bring up your name, just so you know, to ensure that the sidewalk was clear, because this one's over at, where Blue Smoke used to be. Okay?
And they take up less space than Blue Smoke will.
All right, so, I think the question was called.
Yes, it was,
And seconded, fantastic. This is a vote by affirmation. So are there any opposed? Hearing and seeing none, are there any abstentions? Hearing and seeing none, are there any recusals? Hearing and seeing none, motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much. We had a presentation from the Sailport 250 by Jasmine. It was great. We're really excited to have them here. I would say, for our folks at City Hall, Ovi, we are extraordinarily excited about Sail 250, and we cannot say often and early enough. We would like to see a variety and diversity of those boats in our seaport area, which is the only place with open berths. Because North Cove Marina is closed and the wharf around the battery is only for statute cruises. Please note, it was said early and often, if you'd like, you can certainly hear the presentation. Okay, we had, do we have slides from even, I didn't ask for them.
Sailport.
From Sailport, do we have?
I could share more.
We're gonna share the slides around from Sailport. Chinatown Connections also gave a great update. It was really nice for them to come. It was the first update since CB1. And this is for the Kinlow Square intersection that connects to Park Row and Worth Street, which is why we're always there, because we share all of that. And it will be a transformative project. I urge you to take a look at the YouTube to see all the details. It's a lot of change. And it hopefully will be fantastic for the pedestrians. Okay. And a lot of work went into it, so I think, you should take a look. And then we went through the New York City Agency Annual Concession Plan. Please remember, there's an open public comment period. We do not intend to comment, but we do have some of our fantastic board members who are contractees, for example, Gotham Park. The one thing that I did notice in this is that the kiosks on the north side and the south side of this building are included. So hopefully at some point, we'll see a public restroom in the city area, but I didn't see that outlined yet. that would be something, if anybody wanted to provide public comment, is that we would support public restrooms somewhere around the public.
Didn't we see something about those kiosks being used for a restaurant?
I think they're used for restaurants, which makes it even worse, because now we're adding again more food and beverage and no place for people to eat,
Yeah.
period. I mean,
That's it.
it's awful. Yeah, it's just, it's not well thought out. Urban planning 101. Yeah. Alrighty, so with that, let's move on to land use. Netta, take it away.
We have 3 agenda items this month. One out of 3, one was a resolution and one was a report and one was a preview of a project that we're gonna be reviewing. The resolution, the first one, the city is developing a new housing framework that will establish citywide and community level housing production targets for 5 years. There is a proposed 30-day public comment period, which is currently scheduled for August. And we're on recess in August, as are most of the other communities. So the resolution is asking DCP and HPG to extend the 30-day period to 60-day period and release the information as soon as it's available. That's the should we go through all 3?
No, because the other 2 are not resolutions.
So let's start with questions on this one.
Mark has.
Marisa, Marisa.
What exactly is the definition of strategic equity framework?
Do not know, they have not released the frameworks. Connie has gone to one of the initial meetings with them. June 1st, they're gonna give more information to the public.
Usually when you see equity in there, it's
not approved.
for somebody else.
Not us, yeah.
Mark, my high recommendation is that you come to the land use meeting in June, because George
Well,
James
but I
is
thought-
doing
It's
the
just
full.
interesting that the city hasn't given the definition yet. Keep it close to the
It's an extension of the policy that they passed in 2023, where we live. If you recall that. It's
a little bit.
But the issue that we have for community board 1, as long as Obi's still here and hanging with us,
Yeah.
the city does a great job of saying, hey, look, congratulations, you've got 536 new units of affordable housing. Shh, don't look at the thousands you just lost.
Yeah.
So because of that, right, we have lost more affordable housing in this district than anywhere else. If you want to think of the 3 large properties that were built to help create and seize lower Manhattan. But the city doesn't look at that. So we were doing a study to hopefully inform the city. Go ahead, keep going.
So the 2 are reports.
Oh,
So should we call the
Are there any-
question?
Yeah.
We're gonna go by a vote for affirmation, and again, Obi, goes to how disgusting it is for mass engagement that you would, the city and you would choose to do a public comment period when the
August.
community boards are off, and use the guise of, well, there's a deadline of October 1st, so we have to do it then. When we know from sitting in this room for the decades that we have, that the timeline for the borough-based jail, even though it is legally, oh well, so sad. The timeline for other things that were environmental, oh well, so sad. Timelines for many things go by, and yet this, which is supposed to have public comment, we can't be at all flexible on it. So, yeah. Question was called, question was, Ushma, Joe, you gotta have your, I got you. Gotta have your cameras on. There we go, and Ushma, you're gonna have to announce because you missed the first couple votes. Joe, please put your camera on.
I've been on, I've just
This
been
is gonna be a
driving to JFK.
Enjoy. Okay, so this is a vote by affirmation. Ushma, please vote if you are a yes, no, abstain, because you missed the first vote. And Jared, you as well. Camera
Ushma
on and
Pandya.
vote.
Ushma Pandya, yes.
And Jared, same thing, you missed the first vote. Public meeting laws.
Sure abstains.
Thank you. Okay. Are there any in opposition? Are there any abstentions? Any recusals? Motion passes with one abstention. Thank you so much. And Opie, we really hope to hear some better news from the city in terms of how we engage with the public. Oh, there we go. We can go back. We have slides on that.
Yeah, I'm sure they're already.
Okay, I didn't see it, sorry.
I have two reports, which is the George James presented an ongoing work that he is doing with the Affordable Housing Working Group to put an inventory together and a housing database tracking income restricted, rent stabilized, and market rate housing across Manhattan, including the long-term loss of regulated housing. If you go to the previous slide. Nope, one forward. This one.
Yeah.
When you, the link to the map, you can see each block, the number of housing and what are the restrictions on each, the number of units, the restrictions that are per building, per unit, per district.
Can we share that slide and that link?
Sure.
That would be great to get around. I'd love to see that.
It will
Sorry,
be, this is part of his June presentation. Please come to the land use.
Thank you, okay.
But also, the link is already live. You can go and play around.
Good. Yeah, yeah.
It's not just for the CB1, it includes the whole.
The June land use one, right?
Mm-hmm. We also did an initial review of 67 Vestry Street. They are seeking a CPC authorization to add 2 parking spots to an existing loading dock, which is already within the building that they converted. They are gonna come back and do a formal presentation. I don't know, Zach, if we have a date for them coming back. But they are gonna come back and do an official presentation to the community.
No date yet.
Does anybody have any questions for Netta on any of this? Okay.
Thank you, Netta.
So, for Waterfront Parks and Cultural and Youth Ed, Trish is gonna follow up next month on safety concerns. Andrew was called into a meeting and Paul is in recovery. We wish him best wishes for his health. Goldstein. So the best that I know, because I didn't go to this meeting, is, who was at the meeting who may want to talk about it? Christine?
I was at the meeting, but I'm not sure I want to talk about it.
Eric?
Yeah, so I was there. We had Captain Bolware speak about what's coming up with the Seaport Museum. I'm trying to recall some of the events, but you know, he mentioned they would continue to do their sailings. I don't remember the frequency. Something about a lighthouse. It's all refurbished.
The Titanic Memorial.
Thank you. Okay. And then, and also 250, I think I'm not sure if we discussed that. Okay, no, we didn't. But then the Battery to Bridges Coalition by Michael Kramer, who was explaining what the goals of the organization is. It covers the area from Pier, I think it's 42 on the 36 on the east side, all the way to the Brooklyn Battery Maritime Building.
There was some exciting things about the seaport, though, if I do recall, right? Because they received some money, I believe, or they were talking about having the tall ships in and there was like a big thing in regards to.
Oh, you're talking about Sail 250.
Yeah, so they are participating in Sail 250 and working, that's the tall ships. Yeah, you're right, keep going.
Or like the celebration of like America's 250.
Yes, correct. And so there's gonna be a lot of installations and that they were gonna send us information, I recall, but I think it's something that we should distribute because I think it is going to bring a lot of attention to that area that somehow just can't find its way. And really interesting, I'm sorry, one thing, this is the important thing, that they received, they have a copy of the Declaration of Independence, I believe that's going to be at the museum, and some other incredibly historic, documents that, are normally found in museums, you know, in DC, that we're gonna have right here in our community. So I hope that people go, planning to go. No,
So this is, thank you, Onesh, for sharing some of the slides. This kind of gives you stuff. There you go.
You did a very nice presentation.
That's what I'm.
And I think he brought, a new community engagement person with him as well.
I'm coming back as a group.
All right.
You can still do it.
So I think that's it, and fantastic, let's move on to licensing.
So, this is what I'd like to know, because the 195 people are here. I'd like to take it separate and first, because I don't want to have them have to sit through this.
Wait,
And, wait, I want to ask my question, then you ask. I want to ask Onej if we know when this group is up for, to go before the SLA, and have they signed the stipulation?
No, there's no stipulations.
Okay, so, so I would like, and I don't know, Mr. Parliamentarian, Mr. Second Parliamentarian, I would like to postpone this, because we did, oh, wait, what, Mark?
Before you table, let me say something. Go ahead.
No, let the chair finish.
Let me
I've
finish,
got two
then we'll have,
parliamentarians who-
I would like to either table it, I'd like to table it till next month, because I want the residents to be able to come to the meeting, they didn't come. So we weren't really informed, and they showed me, a plan, and we didn't get that, and we didn't understand it enough. And you know how I love to be duped by all these people, and I have been duped. They lied, and so I would like to, table this
And go back.
and go back.
They weren't at the meeting, none of them were at the meeting.
Okay.
Which is important.
All right, so, wait a minute, have you made a motion to table?
I have made,
Or are you waiting for a comment first and then making the motion? to
I
table?
would like to wait for comments first.
But then there's no debate.
Yeah.
There's a long history of this location and this owner with Tribeca Rooftop. In fact, you should research the original ruling. Yeah, that was back when the SLA, thought that in the public interest was paying taxes and nothing else. And in an incredible ruling, they actually ruled they could not serve liquor on the rooftop. Consequently, they also ruled that they could not use the name Tribeca Rooftop. If you can find the original ruling, but this has been problematic for years. The owner, this guy Riley, actually threatened me at a liquor authority hearing. So this is the kind of character you're dealing with. But so I gotta say, you need to know the history. It's not just one residents that are complaining. There's these bad actors here.
Thank you.
So, hold on, before the motion's table, I'm just gonna come back to say, there's been a lot of history with this location. In terms of Tribeca Rooftop, this is not Tribeca Rooftop.
Correct.
This is Rosa's.
Okay.
It is, the entrance is around, I understand it's the same owners. When Rosa's came to us, I encourage everyone and anyone to go listen to the recording about how tough the stipulations were to ensure that it was not a flow through.
Correct.
Now, because the residents were not there, I highly support the motion to table, and I think that they should come back. We need to invite the operator to come back and to explain the diagrams a little further and to do more clarity.
And if we could have the prior resolution as well, so we can keep it in front of us. So, my motion is to table.
Second.
This is not debatable, this is votable.
All in favor?
This is a motion to table, this is not a debatable motion, so based on the temperature of the room, I am going to say this is probably a vote by affirmation.
Fine.
Will be good. So are there any in opposition to tabling? Ask them. Hearing and seeing none, are there any abstentions to tabling? Hearing and seeing none in the room, are there any recusals? Fantastic.
Tabled.
So that is tabled for the residents who are here. Justine, stop. For the residents who are here, please look at the licensing agenda for June. We will be inviting the operator to come back with their representatives. We would like you to come, whether virtually or in person, does not make a difference, and be able to hear everything for yourselves
And thank you for coming.
and question them. Please make sure, yeah, no problem. Make sure you educate yourself already by listening to licensing from May. So you
Yes.
hear what has already been said, and then just bring your questions and make sure we can get everything
And
answered.
again, we have no problem with normal business, you know, I'll.
But again, stop,
No,
at
no,
the
don't worry
meeting,
about it.
at the meeting, we see you in committee.
All right,
Alrighty?
thank you.
Thank you.
And,
Susan,
on the 11th, SLA, next week, so they'll get on the.
we don't need to yet.
So,
We're good.
just by chance.
Yep. Susan, keep going.
Oh, okay. The other, thank you very much. I was done. The other one, that that you should read is 125 Greenwich. I just want to get the rest out, but most of this out of the way. They are asking for a 200-foot rule via the New York State legislation pertaining only to them. You have to read the resolution. It's very specific. They haven't opened anything. It's not any of that they want. The board supports the creation of legislation to exempt 125 Greenwich Street owners from the 200-foot rule on 125th. You know that I'm loath always to do any of this because I figure if you do it once, you can do it 1,000 times. But we voted in favor of it and I did as well. We only had one abstention. I bet you can guess who that was. So, we got lessons. So I am bringing that up to be voted on before all the others. Are there any questions?
I will make one comment,
Please.
and that comment is we've already allowed 2 other 200-foot
Right.
rules in the same zone. So, and this is over at World Trade Center, literally across the street.
So
What does that mean? On the question.
we've allowed it in 2 other cases. That's
So
what.
we should allow it here.
And what would, if I may, under what circumstances would you agree to an exemption?
It
What
is,
drives that determination in your minds?
they went and got not only community support, but they actually approached the schools and talked to the schools and got a letter from the schools. Which is what we asked everybody to do. And it's more difficult when it's by a high school, but Trinity Church didn't seem to care, neither did Greek Church, and.
Correct.
That's very helpful.
The question.
Second.
Vote by affirmations. Are there any in opposition? Hearing and seeing none, are there any abstentions? Amaruso abstains, thank you. Are there any recusals? All right, motion passes 100%. Thank you, with 1 abstention. Thank you very much. Keep going,
Okay.
Susan.
So all the rest are pretty clear. I always hope you read them because they're important to read. We approved them all. We didn't have any trouble. We changed some hours and asked for music and subwoofers. And I will tell you that we were learning something each time I'm on these committees. We're learning. What, dear?
8:35, the Governor's Island one.
Right, yeah.
With the hours, the Sunday hours.
The Governor's Island, 1 o'clock. Oh, yes. Governor's Island, hours are till 1 o'clock. And they have a special dispensation from Governor's Island. And they will take people off the island by private boat or whatever they're doing. Brendan,
Mine is not related to that one. I was just gonna bring up, I think it's 310 Greenwich.
yeah,
I think that's for the outdoor seating that.
oh, thank you.
I have a
Yes.
comment on that.
Yes, Jerome, I'm sorry, that's the first one, I was gonna go back to it. Before we vote, so, Jerome had, the 120, the
310.
Wait.
Hold on, first, can we get your typo? What
I
typo?
want to go to Governor's Island, that you all understand the hours are till 1 o'clock. We're going to change it in the
Sunday hours.
Sunday hours,
So not 10 PM, but 1 AM.
1 AM. It's all 7 days a week, whenever it's open. And that's really governed by the people at Governor's Island, and they're in charge of it, okay? So let's go to 310 Greenwich.
Yeah, do we have the, schematic, if they were in the slideshow?
This one, I'm sorry.
Pass it.
310.
Starts up, it's all in the outdoor seating.
Yeah, take.
It's in the resolution, but we don't have it on the slide.
Okay, so if we go to.
No, but I can pull it up.
It's in the resolution.
So we voted on this on May 13th, and I even shared some concerns there. And I have concerns, but I don't think it's worthwhile, but I just think that 6 chairs there, particularly I guess this, with the southeastern corner. I spent the weekend over BMC, in and around BMCC, May 16th and May 17th. Now granted, it was Taste of Tribeca at the farmer's market, and the politicians shaking hands. I think having 6 chairs, that one Saturday a year will be incredibly disruptive. And I think it's gonna be disruptive on a regular old normal spring Saturday with the politicians shaking hands in the farmers markets. But I don't know if we hold this up for 12 Saturdays out of the whole year. What do you guys think? I don't think it's worthwhile, but everyone should know, and I'd love to hear from more people who live near there. It's gonna be a problem. It just is gonna be a problem, April, May, and June. It just is. People are gonna, hard to get around, walk around, and that's it.
All right, let me ask Brendan first.
So I agree. I think 310 Greenwich, which is where like there's the new coffee place, which I'm excited to have it there. It's great. They also enjoyed some jazz outside, so they're trying to bring people there and to sit outside specifically. But it becomes very crowded there really quickly on nice weekends. Also, to kind of speak to them as like community members, they already have a lot of seating out there, and essentially what they're doing is asking for permission after the fact, and so I love that, including some new outdoor seating around a tree, which is not a thing that we do. On top of the fact that there's actually, we all know Greenwich Street, there's a lot of seating there in general already. So you can get your coffee and walk 20 feet away and sit down. So I don't love adding more seating to a very narrow stretch already. That would be my opposition, but I will asterisk with that I'm almost always against like seating on sidewalk. So I almost always will abstain or oppose.
That's first.
Before we continue, it's not 6 tables, it's supposed to be 16 tables.
How many?
16. And where the one went, but it's not 16.
So multiplying our responses, but.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Alice?
I have some questions. So they took away the chairs that were in front of the planters, right?
Oh, no.
They're ever.
Yes, there's nothing in front of the planter.
So I would say the only other thing I think Brendan raises a very good point, is that you're creating a courtyard here, basically, with private seating. There's this on Greenwich Street, this, albeit a very large area. But what we've done here is we have a tree, that round circle, right, with pit.
Right.
And you are creating and giving over a basic open court
Yeah.
to private seating.
Yeah.
And, that may be great, but you have to recognize that's a very large gesture. And I think it privatizes a very large portion of public space there. And it certainly could say for us, I would not vote for it for that reason. But, that's just something I'm just pointing out.
Thank God, thank you for pointing that out.
Jared has his hand online, and then Richard, and then
you.
Jared.
I was just gonna say that I kind of had the opposite reaction to the activity over there last weekend. I thought it was actually quite vibrant and enjoyable. I would support this. I don't think it is any worse than the stroller parking up the block.
Okay, vote yeah.
That was the alternative.
Richard?
Yeah, actually, I agree with poor Jared. Particularly the tables and chairs on the south side, not on the south side of the, in front of the building, but on the south side
of the street here. There's a lot of traffic, as you pointed out, going north and south into the farmer's market. An awful lot of political activity, and it's not just a few weekends, it's a lot of weekends during the course of the year. And I think that's gonna be a real pedestrian problem there, especially with them trying to serve. I think those are problematic. I don't have any problem with the other seating. I think that doesn't seem to interfere with the traffic flow, just the ones in front of the building. What are they? There's,
If you're on the south side of the tree.
yeah, this southern portion on the front of the building. Those are the ones that really present a traffic, a pedestrian traffic blockage.
Just, and then.
You mean on the side there?
Not on the side, no. Those are people coming in and out of
Oh, here.
310.
Okay,
He's
okay.
talking about on the south side of the public seating.
I
The
got
ones
it.
that enclose it,
Yes.
just below the tree.
Yeah, yeah,
The round thing is the tree, and then the straight thing is a vent.
yeah.
All right, so Jess goes, Wendy goes, Vincent goes.
So they're seating on the south here, there's like that long corridor into 310 Greenwich, right? Is that where that is?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're saying you don't like that, or you do?
No, I don't have a problem with that.
That's not,
That's not the problem.
yeah, I mean, look, I know Richard has as well, spent countless hours sitting on that.
Yeah.
It is a special area, and I actually really do support this because I think that there are people coming in and out of Toby's, which has been a great addition to this area, and they're kind of just standing there and leaning on things anyway. We've got the outdoor seating at Laughing Man, which is very popular. There's Van Leeuwen right over there that has outdoor seating. I just think it's great to encourage people to stay in that area. There's a lot of people already hanging out in that area, but it's a very vibrant and special part of the neighborhood. That I think it'd be great to have more seating at.
Wendy?
But it's private.
Yeah.
It's not public seating, correct? Wendy?
I mean, as it's been, during COVID and post-COVID, it's been depressing, going around our neighborhood. And I feel like this brings vibrancy. I think it's cheery. And, if there's a couple extra tables that are maybe a little crowded, I just think.
16.
I find it cheery. Not that I'm out that much, not that I'm as vibrant in the neighborhood as I used to be, but, I'm probably in favor of this. So I don't see it as a big problem. And a little hustle and bustle isn't, I just don't think it's been a huge problem.
Thank you. I call Vincent next.
And then I'd like to speak.
Netta had her hand up.
Netta can speak.
Go ahead, Vincent.
I'd just like to say that, I know I can't answer speaking, but there was some complaints about the seating there. Somebody said, yeah, Van Leeuwen's right next door and they have seating just as far. It's on the top.
Goes further. This goes further to Bandon.
Does it
It
really?
does go further, Vincent.
The only thing I have a concern with is the tables on the bottom. Because that is the entrance to the ones on the bottom, where the pillars are.
Next to the building on the
Yeah.
bottom for the
These, yeah, the ones you're pointing.
the
to.
single row.
Yes, because I know, that's the entrance to the building, but it's also, as wide as like let's say if like an ambulance wanted to go through there. So I'm concerned about those tables being there, if there's an emergency vehicle that needs to get up.
You're talking about the double row of tables.
Yeah, the one that's
The
that,
one south side of the tree.
yeah, so, just a concern if it's.
Side of the building.
No,
He's talking about where she's pointing.
He's
Which
talking
one?
about what everybody's talking about.
Yeah, so, because that area, like I said,
That's
it's
what
it's
you're
a
talking
driveway, so most of the ambulance wanted to go through there.
It's not the
That one.
There's bollards all around.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's bollards there, but there's also an area,
Well,
the driveway's on the other side of the bollards, it's on the
Yeah.
yeah, it's on this, but.
But let me
this is
just
not really a
say-
Great drawing.
just so you know, DOT approved this.
Okay.
I just want you to know that, but I have an idea, so speak up.
Netta, Jared, you've already gone. Justine, I need you to stop mumbling down that end because I can hear it. Netta?
Question, the 5 blue squares right by the entrance, what are?
So that's, thank you for getting to where I was going. Those are planters. in front of the entrance.
Oh, confusing.
But they're not
So-
there now, or are they?
Yeah.
They're
So-
not there.
Tammy,
So my issue with this is if they want to set up outdoor seating, I love outdoor seating. It's kind of a nice place. It's a little bit off the street. That's great. But why should they put 5 planters in front of the door and then 6 tables out in the middle of public space? Because I feel like it privatizes the seating around the tree. It's gonna be a little bit like, yeah, okay, maybe if I walked in, I got a coffee, I can sit there. But it's not, it doesn't feel very public. It makes it feel a little more private. So if they need those seating, I would say they should take 2 tables, put it up against the wall where they have the one already there in the front of their restaurant and not have the rest of those there. My issue has always been the bottom 6, the ones that Vincent pointed out and others. You know, hey, if it enlivens the area, that's great, but that tree is public space, the seating around the tree is supposed to be public. And you want people to feel that it's still part of the public realm.
A note on that, though, they actually put that seating around the tree, that's not.
Right, and that's
That's
not-
not part-
Right.
it's a bench,
it goes around, it's not seating. Bench there.
so people could sit.
And we do actually get a decent amount of complaints for, public seating from, on Greenwich there.
But that's not public seating, that is private seating where to your point, I need to buy coffee to sit there, guess what? I don't.
public.
It's public.
Around the
It's
tree, stop, everybody, around the tree is public seating.
But who said and knows that? And how's it discerned between
Hence,
the private?
hence my point of, if the private seating was on the north, along the building, then that leaves the tree more open for public seating and public access as you come out of the park. There's the big public seating there. That was my only thing, and we had a resolution on public seating, if people remember, along Greenwich Street, that came up because there was a, which you were involved with, for people who were advocating, and Chris Marte was involved, for benches along Greenwich because the population didn't have enough public seating along Greenwich. That was what I'm responding to. I think there's a way to compromise to have both. For the operator to have successful tables and for the public to have public seating. That's my only thing. So I don't like the 6. I think they should take 2 of them up to the building and they could lose one.
Planters.
Yeah, so I would say no. Somebody else in the back behind Bob had a hand up. Jameson.
I thought maybe the limited debate.
Thank you.
I've heard a lot, I'm not ready to vote.
What do you want? How many minutes?
Maybe it's not even necessary. I personally have heard enough.
Hold on. Eric has his hand up.
Motion to limit debate to 5 minutes.
Yeah, let's let.
5 minutes works for everybody? That sounds right?
I want,
Okay, that sounds, I feel like I have 2/3 of the room saying yes to 5 minutes.
2 minutes.
All right,
So,
Okay, this will be quick. So those tables on horizontally, do they need permission for that, or is that private that's public property?
they need permission from the DOT, which they have.
So is that a public right of way that they have to get permission? I thought that was Independence Plaza's land.
That is not, though, that's the roadbed, okay? If I understand correctly, part of the sidewalk,
It's sidewalk.
Yeah.
but they don't need, it's public.
It's public, like every other DOT application.
Yeah,
The sidewalks in this area are exceedingly wide. They were built as a promenade style because of the quantity of people who live at IPN, not including the new 675.
Yeah.
Foot tower. Yes.
I have a question. So, if they go out of business and they leave, does this get grandfathered in? Does this set a precedence that the
no,
next store
No,
will now
no.
have this?
no,
Pretty much, DOT.
but it doesn't.
It does, they'll
DOT.
still have to come back with,
They have
DOT
to
will
come
say,
back.
here, this is what was said.
Or so it could be, it
Correct.
could be a Hooters
I don't,
with tables.
All
I'm
right,
not, I don't know what the planters.
Stop.
Go.
Pushma, you're the last hand and the last thing. The question is, from me, after Ushma goes, were they willing to adjust?
We didn't ask them, Tammy.
We kind of did regarding there were some, bricks in the sidewalk.
I didn't hear, yeah, that's right.
That has like names on them. It's some kind of memorial.
That's correct.
Red bricks.
And they didn't want, they weren't gonna put anything over those.
Yeah, and they had agreed not to put anything over those, like to shift the bottom, this bottom set, so that it wouldn't be over
Which bottom set, the side along the building or the six?
the six.
This, those where she.
I'm not sure where the line is, but it's somewhere.
Yes, they said, thank you, Anish. They said they would shift it.
So that makes it almost worse to me, because we don't know where they're going.
Right.
So
Okay.
So they would.
why don't we,
Because the bricks are here.
yeah,
You can't table it because it's timed.
it's
All
time.
right, Ushma, you're last. Ushma.
I just wanted to point out that they
You
have
muted.
that they have the farmer's market. No, I'm not, I'm talking. No, can't hear me?
I can, you're okay.
Yeah. I was just saying they have the farmer's market. It gets very crowded in that area. Did they talk about what they would do on the weekends when there's the farmer's market?
I think they're looking forward to it because it brings business.
Yeah, they're looking forward to having the traffic.
So okay, very quickly, I was gonna propose based on Duran that we at least make an amendment to on those crowded times when there are events on that street, that we ask them to move the tables or not do, but
They're not gonna do that.
they're not gonna do that.
No, because we're gonna be a manager that just started yesterday that doesn't know, and they just told them to sit it out.
It's also
Can I make a
required-
recommendation as a compromise?
Mhm.
If we can, I think the compromise would be if we can get rid of those 6 seats and keep the rest. I don't like the circle tree, but I'm not gonna die on the hill. And then they still have plenty of seating. And I think if we ask that, 'cause also let's keep in mind, this is a new establishment. They don't really know, so they are probably honestly more likely to compromise, be like, okay, sure.
Which 6? Because I'm so confused now.
Yeah. Those six.
Bottom row.
And I think that would give more yeses than not.
So what's legally, what do we do? I want to get through this fast.
So unfortunately, because DOT has approved it, you can say no unless, but it goes down, and that's probably the way it should be, because it ends up, it's a motion to change it. Because if it's a yes with, they're not gonna care.
So let's.
So you have to say no, unfortunately, because then it goes to a public hearing with council member. And the council member can then say, hey, look, it's just these 6 tables. Let's get that moved and they can be approved. They could take 2 out of 6 and put them up against the building, so they're losing not a lot.
Well, I think, let's not make that recommendation about where they're gonna put it. Let's ask them to take it down, vote no, take down those 6 tables
Yeah.
and chairs. And because of the traffic and whatever to
So we
add
need a
into our
parliamentarian to rule because it was approved as is in committee.
So what
And
do
now
I
we're
do?
changing it, here, Patrick.
Can we do friendly?
Is it an amendment to a? This has to be a deny unless versus a yes, right? Because it's DOT, right?
No,
What are my
it
options?
is approved with modifications. Denied, approved, or approved with modifications.
So we can
We're gonna-
approve with modification.
We're gonna approve with.
As long as they follow the modification.
We can send, and then we can send it to the operator and say, this is what the board voted on. We hope that you change your application.
And then push it back to council.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I move to amend the resolution
of
what you just said. Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
So approve with modification,
Yeah.
much closer to the committee, and everybody is okay from the committee saying, get rid of your planters, take 2 tables over there, so you're only really losing 4.
I don't care about the planners, it's
Yeah.
just get rid of those tables.
Yep.
Get rid of, screw the planters.
If they make the
At
decision
the
to get
moment,
rid of.
yeah, that we'll deal with it.
When they remove the 6
They
tables
remove the
and
6
12
tables.
chairs on the south side. of
Yeah.
All 6?
Yes.
Yeah,
Want that area blocked.
right, and that actually works well, because then you're not covering the memorial bricks either.
Right, Memorial Brooks are
That's
there.
The memorial bricks are there, and that should be part of the reasoning. It's the memorial bricks and for pedestrian flow.
It's 9 p.m.
Thank you. You know where your children
Okay.
are.
Yeah.
Memorial bricks will also be.
All right, so
well-
with that change,
You have to vote on the amendment first.
we have to vote on the amendment first. So this is a change. Make sure they're not covering the memorial bricks, and the 6 tables at the bottom get changed. 2 could go, if they choose, in front of the restaurant.
Yeah.
All right, so
So this is a vote on that amendment.
we're calling the
Yes,
amendment
second,
question.
yeah.
Okay, let's go.
All in favor is, it's a vote by affirmation. Are there any opposed? Seeing and hearing no oppositions, are there any abstentions?
Ushma has a handle.
Dushmar is
Yeah,
opposed.
sorry, it's on the ground.
Yep. Are there any recusals? Motion passes unanimously.
So
Fantastic.
now we have
The
to vote on
amendment.
the motion.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so
Oh,
amendment
resolution.
passes. Now this is the vote, was it called?
No.
Call the question.
Second.
Fantastic. Vote by affirmation. Are there any in opposition?
Mark,
Are there any abstentions? No abstentions?
It's going back and forth, and go ahead.
Okay. Hearing and seeing no abstentions, are there any recusals? Motion passes with 1 opposed. Thank you. Susan, are we taking everything else together?
yes, so
Okay, so.
I need a motion, let's
No, no,
read them all.
All the addresses.
Okay, let me find it.
So this is everything, this is in Tribeca 1 and 2, so this is 77 Ward
78-82 Reed.
Reed.
It is 11 Wall Street in the Financial District. It is 825 Gresham Road with the new hours.
Right.
219 Water Street in the Seaport, and 96 South Street, and that's it. All in, oh, we're
Call the
doing,
question.
we did.
It's their corporate dining space. Think, read it, it's the corporate
Right.
dining space.
So this is. Okay,
This is,
entirely private.
it's entirely private, but you still need to have a
Currently.
license.
I understand that.
It's upstairs,
It's
not
upstairs.
ground floor.
So the ground floor as well?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, with a license for their catering space.
Okay, that's fine.
No, it says on here, corporate dining
We
space.
put it in, and Nick put it in.
All right, sorry.
Call the
Okay,
question
it was
in a
called
second.
seconded, so vote by affirmation. Are there any opposed? Hearing and seeing no oppositions, are there any abstentions? Hearing and seeing none, are there any recusals?
I refuse on the governor's side.
What address is this?
That is 825 Griffin Road.
And I abstain on 11 Wall Street.
Okay, so again, are there any other, there's no other abstentions or recusals, correct? Okay, good to go.
You say you abstained?
Abstained on 11.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Susan, very much. Jeff, take it away.
Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, first thing we covered in the Battery Park City Committee meeting was a presentation from the authority on all their free events. I just wanted to mention that, everybody knows there's lots of free events in Battery Park City. If you go to the next slide, there's a handful of them that will take place in June. Including the FIFA Watch Party, on June, 12th. Swedish Lynn Summer is in Rockefeller Park, as it has been, I guess, the last couple of years, on June 20th. Let's go to the next slide. So we had an update on the construction. As anybody who frequents Battery Park City would know, lots of things are starting to move on the Northwest Resiliency Project. Next slide. I put up this construction objectives because we want to hold them to some of this. Number one is limit disruption. And next to the bottom there is provide meaningful open spaces. It's going to be hard to limit disruption very much, and there's going to be some meaningful open spaces that are going to be inevitably closed. But as people have issues, complaints, or whatever, please bring them to the attention of the Battery Park City Committee. You can do that through Zach, and we will try to address them as best we can. Next slide. So this is what's going on right now in the sort of immediate time frame in the future. And those green bullet points are the things that are definitely active. So North Cove, we're on the marina. The work has begun in May. It was closed earlier than May for the sort of preliminary work that's gonna be closed. 57 months, a long time, almost 5 years. South Esplanade is starting more or less now. The real work will start in earnest late summer, early fall. That's 50 months, also a long time, a little more than 4 years. And the South Cove, which has started back in April, closed a little more than 2 years. So that's what's going on now. Go to the next slide. There's kind of a diagram. The things that are in red are the places that are closed now. Familiar, as I said before, if you frequent the area, this will not come as any surprise to you, but we will slowly see other areas close. And I think that's my next slide. Do I have another one on that? Nope, that's it. Okay, that's the report.
Okay.
Yes, Brendan.
A quick question. Does anything get delayed or impacted with, I know there's, an issue with like one of the buildings that doesn't want to like provide access?
There are some pending lawsuits. My understanding is they're in late stages of settlement negotiations. And so I don't believe those, I don't have any inside information just based on what the projected says. I don't know, Tammy, if you have any insight on those buildings.
There are 3 buildings in question. They need access into 1 and 2 are still, they're looking for an easement. As far as I understand, 1 is in lawsuit and 2 are in dialogue.
Yeah.
I will call it dialogue, not negotiations. I understand they're waiting for
Yeah,
response.
there's actually 2 in lawsuits, but those 2, according to the docket, are in settlement discussions.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? I will acknowledge though for Jeff and for the board that we do have, there's been several hundred emails that have come in about the construction and about, there's an email campaign that are coming from constituents that we do hope that electeds and the Battery Park City Authority respond to.
Trees are a big issue.
Trees are a big issue and there are more trees that have come down than was initially filed in all of the reports. There's more space being taken away that was then initially promised to the community. A dog run, top lot, walkable space. So, there are definitely, it's not as, chunkier than we would have liked.
Yeah, we are intending to continue to have a dialogue in the committee over those issues.
Betty, take us away.
Thank you. Everyone knows that I don't like to talk about reports, but in this case, I briefly mentioned with mostly visual, 2 reports, they're both interesting this month. And people, I think, should know the resources themselves. Go to the next first slide. The street design manual was covered. You guys aren't aware of it. Questions that I get, the answer is go to the DOT website and look up the street manual, design manual, which is the new 4th edition. And you can see the changes. Go to the next one. You realize just how many things the DOT has been dealing with. Again, this is all the standards and all of the everything. Over here, see my thing. Next one. We look forward to do with this street. Again, if you want to see how to use the website, you get a big idea of just how many things have been transitioned. There may be lots of information you're not even aware it's posted. So do take a look at it. Watch the presentation if you'd like to do that. Next. Yeah, and geometry, which I know brings up a lot of issues. That's how the street design is. Just to show you how changed it is. There's only one of many sections of the website. But as you can see, look at all the things in the bottom line about the mode specification design. That's how much micromobility has been added on. Don't people realize this is only all going on for less than a well, so exactly 5 to 6 years. So look at all the things that the pedestrian design as well. Next, find them online. Again, the key considerations, and this will remind you how much has to do with resiliency, and that's an aspect of many of the issues as well. Want to look up what can be done on your block, or if you'd like to suggest for an area. Next. Oh, and the second one, so I do strongly urge people to look at that and get familiar with the website and if any questions about the DOT's many, many programs. What is an access I wanted to bring up? Because we have a developer of this website. It's really not officially an app at this point, but you can function like that. But this is very simple, because this is how the MTA others put the signs up in real life. They put their little duct tape up there. Anyway, there are many reasons. MTA did come up with a new app level. They came out, I think, in March, but it's still, these things all stand up, even with the new version that's now available. And the developer is somebody who moved to San Francisco, and you can see where they'd like to go is transit systems, but they are currently focusing on just New York City and just the city. Next. This is what it looks like on MTA website. What he wants to do is look at better information for people who really need those elevators. How do you get it quickly while you're in motion doing something? The MTA, you gotta plod through a lot of things. You see this, and then you start scrolling. Go to the next one. Those of us who had to deal with it. Then you start scrolling and reading and reading and reading and thinking about what it is, the answer to your question. But this is what they're addressing with this transit access. Yeah, this is in fact the QR code to get to transit access, but you can also find it at transitaccess.org. Next, I'll show you, I took some pictures so you can see what it looks like. This is what it looks like on your phone. You can pull it up that way. But next, I pulled it up on my computer screen and take a screenshot, a little bit easier for our district. You see those little blue check marks there? That's where you can click. If a station is completely inaccessible, you'll see the little red X's. Oh God, you can't use those. So anyway, if you click on one of those little blue checks, because that's the station that interests you, go to the next one, show you what happens. This will pop up on your screen. You can get a good idea of where exactly these locations are. So you don't know how far you have to go or what they are. And then you see the whole list of things on the left. You have 4 or 5 different options. When you click on one of those, you say, I'll go to this one. When you click on it, the next slide will show you what happens. What it looks like. This is what it looks like. You can see a picture of what it looks like from the street when you get there. And the elevator is in service. And which lines are served at that. Use the information very quickly and very visually with where you're going. So it's been very helpful, and Susan being my advocate here because she's been using this.
It has. I have to tell you, it's been terrific.
It is. So I wanted to make sure, if anybody has stroller, has bad joints, has arthritis, has any kind of problem besides people who are using it.
Makes a difference.
You probably want to look at it. It's very, very helpful. Next. Yeah, this is just the second one. They all look a little different, but this was a second choice from those 5 for this one. For next. Yeah, and they are interested in want to sign up for updates or want to provide feedback. They're very interested in feedbacks. And for those who've used it, and they've said one of the things they're moving to next is looking at escalators. So that is in their to-do list. For those who say, escalator users. And I think that's the last item.
Awesome. All righty. This is our last resolution. This will be, thank you very much. This will be a roll call. And congratulations to Alice, whose daughter was graduated, like mine did. So hers from grad school. So I got to run the meeting with Martine. We had Deborah Glick come and present. We have Tracy here for questions tonight, and I also have to say, earlier today, we got a letter of support. Let me tell you who it came from, and I apologize. It'll end up in the public folder. I just literally found it as I was walking in the door, so. Apologies. Okay, we got a letter from Janet. James. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, it came from Judith Enck, the former EPA Regional Administrator, in support of the bill. So it's a long letter to the community board. We will be sharing it, in the public folder and around tomorrow. And with that, are there any questions? Oh, goodness gracious. Okay, Betty and then Eric.
Well, I want to hear about this first.
You got it, Eric.
Okay, so I read the bill before this meeting, and I'm concerned it's arbitrary, meaning that 30% reduction in packaging. And then how was this 30% established? And then all of this will levy fees upon the products that we receive. I'm sure manufacturers don't want to use more packaging than is required, but this isn't the way to do it. I mean, this is not the way to enforce, reduction of packaging. I think it will happen on its own. We should let the market decide, but this will just mean higher prices for the rest of us. It's starting off where the fees will get higher and higher because of these arbitrary targets of 30%, and it'll be the consumer that's up.
Okay, anybody else? By the way, Tracy is gonna be our expert here. No offense to toss you under the bus. To be able to answer some questions. All right, so I'm gonna let Tracy try and field them. And I'm gonna make one comment about your arbitrary. It's actually less than California. California,
okay.
I'm just saying, it is not arbitrary. It was done through negotiations with the manufacturers and stuff, so it is not as tight as California. It's more relaxed. Betty, did you want to go now? Jeff, Mark, Richard. And we're gonna say 2 to 3 minutes per. Okay.
I share some of your concerns, Eric, but I am mollified to support this because we raised the 30% concern as an issue that we'd like them to look at. It's particularly problematic if you have a liquid product. It's not possible for an olive oil bottle to be reduced by 30%. It's still full percent of olive oil. Same thing for wine. And those issues have created quite a few problems in California. California is actually 25%, not 30, but it's somewhere. So we call out that issue as something they need to look at. It's something we have concern. We also have concern on small businesses. A big conglomerate can reduce overall by 30% by picking and choosing which products to modify. A smaller company doesn't have that logic. We only sell olive oil, they can't do anything at all.
But if it was that,
Pardon?
the bill exempts that.
It does not exempt that. It absolutely does not.
No, it doesn't.
It does. The only liquid it exempts.
It does, Jeff.
It does not.
Tracy,
Where does it say so in the legislation?
pull up a chair, Trace.
Or that, just talk.
So first of all, this only applies to companies with more than $5 million in annual revenue.
That's a pretty small
The
company.
hospitality industry, like restaurants and hotels, do not manufacture packaged products, so they would not be included. Companies will have over 12 years to comply with a 30% reduction in packaging. I will say to the 30% point, we initially were pushing for 50%, and it's through 2 years worth of negotiation that we arrived at the 30%. So that whereas the 30% is something that we were hoping for the board to support with. Some companies will reduce their packaging. They have an option. They'll either reduce their packaging or they'll shift to refillable packaging, like glass, aluminum, paper, cardboard. The bill covers packaging used for transportation, tertiary or the outermost packaging, and customer-facing packaging. So if a company cannot reduce their customer-facing packaging, like a jug of laundry detergent, they can comply by reducing their transport packaging, so making the outer packaging smaller. And they can do that by things like using reusable shipping pallets and containers rather than shrink wrap on the outside of the package. All of those reductions will count toward that 30% compliance. And the companies can do a calculation company-wide. For instance, if one product cannot be reduced at the rate of 30%, but other packaging in their product line can be reduced. That all can be calculated and use an average to comply with the law.
Is that self-reporting, Tracy, or will there be monitoring?
Oh, there will be monitoring. It's, I will say it's an incredibly complex, detailed bill. So it's hard to get into every single detail in this forum, but, there will be the bill would establish a packaging reduction and recycling advisory council that will help implement and establish all of the guidelines and work with the manufacturers to figure out how to comply. And again, we'll have 12 years, even more than 12 years actually, because the implementation date is 4 years from the time the bill would be signed. And there's a 10-year look back period, so companies can go back to 10 years prior to the bill signing to count any reduction in packaging they may already have done. And the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation will be setting a fee schedule. So companies that do not comply within those 12 years will be contributing to a fund that will offset the municipality's recycling costs.
We have to answer.
All right, Jeff, no, come back. She's answered that one thing.
He did not, you said there was an exception for olive oil and wine. There is no such exception.
Well, wine, there is an exception for beverages.
Only if it's in a deposit bottle, and what wine is a deposited bottle?
It's also, is your wine coming in plastic? Because the primary goal is to
Glass, and in fact, glass containers are penalized because they can't go to plastics. The law does not allow you to switch to plastic. So if you're starting in glass, you cannot reduce your 30% weight by switching to plastic. There's really nowhere for a glass bottle to
So
go.
are you recommending that these things be added to the bills?
No, I recommend getting rid of the 30%. That's the source of the evils, unless you're going to exempt liquid products, because liquid products have
All right.
no.
Let's let other people speak, and I hear your.
Well, one other related point I didn't get to finish, and that is that people who are good actors today, who have very efficient packaging, don't use plastics and whatnot, they still have to reduce by 30%. They are penalized, whereas the bad actors today have lots of plastic, lots of excess packaging. It's easy for them to get rid of the 30%. So this bill penalizes the good actors and effectively rewards the bad actors. I think and the source of the evil is the 30%, the fixed percentage reduction. The idea of the bill is great. And that's one reason I'm mollified to support this resolution, because the language of the resolution points out the 30% is problematic. And in the be it resolved, it says, we think legislation like this is important and should be passed, period. And then we say, this particular bill deserves strong consideration, but we don't specifically urge the passage of this bill. And I'm as it stands.
Okay,
And that we debated that during the environmental.
Okay, whose hands were next? I called them in order. Who was after Jeff? Mark? Yeah, Richard.
I pretty much agree with what Jack and Eric just said. I don't know if I'm gonna say that again, but. But yeah, I mean, these pie in the sky, goals through the clean, become like California, hot companies have become like California.
We could use the Dodgers, I'll tell you that.
But just more crap involved to deal with, and the people that write this stuff don't get it. Everyone just won't do it, they don't know.
Okay, let's not, if it's about the bill, Mark, say something about the bill. If it's not
I
about
wanna
the
know
bill.
if the people who wrote this bill ever had a small business.
All right, let's not.
David, Mark,
Probably not.
incorrect, okay. Richard, Mort,
Mitch.
Mitch, Jesus.
I'll go with you guys.
All right, Richard says he wants to go last. Mitch, Christine.
I kind of agree with Jeff, with the principle, I agree 100%. I'm just wondering, for the companies that don't abide by the 30% and get penalized, is there any provision, and I kind of know the answer anyway, any provision to, make sure that that's not passed along to the customer?
Yeah, well, the part of the rationale for this is that right now, New York City is spending around $400 million a year to dispose of our waste materials. So we have full support from New York City and most of the cities around the state and several of the towns and municipalities. Because, well,
My question exactly was, is there any provision?
Well-
I would assume not any provision so that the bad actors that violate that are not able to just transfer the tariffs over to the
Well, I
consumer.
don't have the reports with me, and I know there was some question about whether the reports exist. I assure you they do. But consumer reports and other research that we have done over the last 2 years does demonstrate it will not be passed along to consumers. This is it, and it will in fact offset the cost to municipalities, which taxpayers are paying for. Our landfills are nearly full. There are 24, 25 around the state. They're almost full, and we spend $400 million a year to haul our garbage across to Staten Island.
So it's not in the bill, but the past research and data demonstrates that it would not be passed along to them, but you want it in the bill.
There's no way to legislate that.
I would also say that, again, the
I just wanted to
bill
bring up
is,
that point with the.
But there's no way to legislate
I
that.
will say, given the hour, the bill is very complicated, and there may be more of a specific answer
Thank you.
for you that I don't have. But Assemblymember Glick
Yeah.
would be happy to come to a future meeting if it's not, if the questions can't be answered.
And the answer is no, we're not gonna table this for today because session ends in June.
Okay.
That was me. Okay. Christine, and then Richard.
Okay, so, I spoke at length about this in the committee, and I'm just speaking to everyone here. I'm going to abstain from this. I want everyone to know that I'm a business owner of 31 years, specifically in environmental products. I sell natural cleaning products. I have spent my entire career, 30 years, trying to provide the public with a safe cleaning product that was minimally packaged, and that I could survive. Okay, so that's the key there. I started everything in glass because glass can be infinitely recycled. Okay, glass with liquid in it is extremely heavy. And our shipping costs have at least doubled since I started business. So I could go back to putting everything in glass. Consumers want 64, they want economy of scale, so they want a large bottle of detergent at 64 ounces. To put that in a glass jar is going to be so incredibly heavy. Now, we discussed this at length that you said there's refill possibilities, but that is for people who can have retail locations and people can go and refill. Someone can't send their bottle back to me in glass and have me pay for it because the consumer's not gonna pay for it. I refill it and ship it back to them. Economically, I want this to work. I want this to work. I, again, have spent, this is my entire business model, okay, to protect the environment. Anyone who knows me knows that is what I stand for. But in our conversations, I'm deeply concerned that you can't answer the simple questions that any small business owner would have asked Assemblymember Glick. And I understand that you've said that you're not the expert, but we met a week ago and I don't have any resource to reach out to anyone and no one reached out to me. And I brought this up at the meeting. I would want someone to come to me so we could have a discussion about this. $5 million business, a $5 million business is very, very small these days. Okay, it's very small. So, and my margin is about 20%.
So the other piece of information that I didn't have when we spoke the other night, but I just said a few moments ago, was that a company-wide reduction counts toward the goal. So if one product is in a large jug and that can't be reduced, other packaging can be. You can.
But I'm at the minimum, but that's what someone else brought that up.
Again, I will say, I'm sorry the assembly member couldn't be here tonight, and our legislative director, who has been working closely with her on this, is actually at a funeral this evening. So we haven't had capacity to answer such detailed questions about the liquid, other than to say, and the assembly member said earlier today too, we were talking about this, that the part of this is to urge businesses to use refillable or reusable containers. And so the goal is to reduce plastic in our landfill, in our environment, and to reduce toxins. It also would prohibit certain toxins that are in chemicals that are leaching into our soil and water.
Stop. Richard, you're the last one. You're the last public comment, board comment.
After him, me.
I'm dead.
I still want to.
Richard.
This bill does a number of things that I think are really important. And I think it's important to understand, I think we all have seen where public policy actually drives change. It drives innovation, it drives research and development, it drives change. Without public policy, it doesn't always happen. We see it all the time in industry after industry. Right now, there is little incentive for manufacturers. There are certainly some that try very, very hard. One we have here, to do the right thing, but not everyone does that, and not everyone has to do that because there's nothing driving them to do that. And so what happens? We pay the cost. The consumer doesn't pay the cost because the consumer just puts it in the trash. The public pays the cost, the taxpayer pays the cost, the cities pay the cost, and the environment pays the cost. And this bill makes that very first step, I think, and a very important step of driving that necessity to change what we're doing in the environment and in our landfill and in the cost process back to the producer and back to people who are going to innovate so that packaging can be reduced. And over a course of 12 years, a lot of innovation can occur and will occur if the public policy is there to drive that. So I think this bill is a very fair approach in terms of driving change that needs to happen in order for us to actually improve our environment, which is why they came to the Environmental Protection Committee. There are questions, I'm sure those questions will need to be addressed. There are exceptions in all of this. The bills, if there are some unintended consequences, there are changes that can be made down the road. But if we don't support this bill now, as it stands, it won't get passed. And another year, or maybe another 2 years, or maybe another 4 years, we will continue to pay the cost, and the environment will continue to pay the cost.
Betty, last comment.
Yeah, actually, I'm going in a different direction. I very much support the concept of the person pass. This is a terrible resolution. With a little bit of flexibility in the writing to make it a little bit.
Agree with that.
It's horribly written. But anyway,
Oh, no.
to give an example, stuff is the comment about California being already passing something similar was sort of left out. That's not a big point because they're already driving the market change. It was the question I'm hearing from.
Would you like to make a friendly amendment to include that?
There are too many things, which is why I want to ask. The whereas can be modified, so I don't need a friendly amendment for those. I just wanted to let you know and let the people know that I'm not asking for.
I actually have some modifications to the whereas.
Hold on, let her, she's on her time.
Okay.
The last two whereases actually contradict everything above it unintentionally by lacking to give any specificity what they're talking about, such as having unintended consequences. When I was reading it, you start with something like Christine's and say, the very small businesses that are good actors would be put out of business and really hurt. That would be an example of an unintended consequence that we would want to point out. If you want to talk about, they're like too broad, what does that, these all mean too broad, what does that mean? Have unintended consequences, what does that mean? So giving them some teeth with a little bit of example would be helpful, such as the one I pointed out by Christine. I also want to talk about Therefore, be it resolved, this I would move. The second one, be it further resolved, should absolutely be cut. I'm more than happy that the office staff should know to send it out to elected officials. We don't need to pass the resolution telling the office staff to do their job. Please do your job and send this, otherwise we won't bother to pass it.
I'm okay, that's fine. We can take that off, yeah.
May I make one comment to Richard's point about some of the meetings that the assembly member and the team have had over the last 2 years have been with the large consumer brands like Kraft Products, Unilever, the companies that are working globally, and many European countries already require a reduction in plastics and eliminating some of the toxins that we currently allow here. So the larger companies with that global reach are already shifting their manufacturing to comply there, and that's what we're asking them to do here.
Can I ask a question?
No,
About what you were saying?
No. Richard, you had some language.
Yes, because.
Betty had some language.
That's Betty's language.
Well, Betty, I got yours. We struck the last one. Yes, the office knows.
The big one.
Yeah.
So the other, just putting in some examples, and I can give you language, we think.
Yeah.
That's fine. We can,
Affect the vote anyway.
That's right.
it's a good idea. We can include the language. Yes.
So I have proposed revisions to two of the whereases and
Which two?
so the first one that relates to the 30% target. It says, whereas the Manhattan Community Board, one, raised concerns regarding 30% packaging reduction targets, particularly for liquid products, which rest in the bill by an implementation schedule that is gradual and phased in over a long timeline and have been amended significantly, initially requiring a 50% reduction over 10 years with limited look back to the current 30% reduction over 12 years with a 10-year.
Worse.
Yeah. What's the point? Yeah, the whole point, the point that we had about the 30% was to detail the. We don't need to see how we got here because we went over that in the meeting that started at 50 and we got to 30.
The last line I was going to say,
Yeah.
many of the producers affected by the bill are already preparing to comply with California standards and will have to do their full California reductions before New York reductions timeline begins.
Except that California's reductions are not 30%, they're 25. They are not as strict on liquids, and in 5 years, you've got to reduce it by 15% under this legislation. So you don't have 12 years, you got 5 years to figure out what you're gonna do with your olive oil supply.
Let's vote on it.
We spent a lot of time on the resolution as is. I can vote for it as is.
So we have, okay, this is a roll call. So we have two choices at this point. I mean, I hate to say this, but it does sound like, I mean, I can't tell whether it's gonna pass or not. So I have no idea. We're gonna roll call it anyway. We can add in language about the 30% being a negotiated point that was lower than where they started, and we appreciate the work that has been done. We can also include, about being concerned for the small businesses, that $5 million for a business may be too small of a threshold, and the other comments that Betty made, right? Which still gets us to the same point that we're supporting the legislation, and we have concerns.
Correct.
If those are all things, and we're striking the last therefore be it resolved because our office knows exactly what to do. With that, everything in place, everybody understands? Roll call.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go.
I need somebody to call it.
Second.
And please,
Who's not opposed to the bills asking to table?
are you asking to table?
Oh, I wasn't formally asking to table. I was muttering that,
She's taking better.
that
So then we could vote on that.
I think having the bill sponsor provide more detailed information to respond to would make more sense. I'm concerned that.
All right, so we're gonna, somebody make, if that's the case, is somebody make a motion?
Motion to table.
Thank you, that is non-tablable. So we're gonna roll call on motion to table. And I am warning everybody, take a plate, take some food home.
No.
Leave pieces out. All right, this is motion to table. It's non-debatable, and this is, we're tabling this.
Yeah, I can't be moving around but so much, so listen up so I don't lose my voice. But I'm talking too much.
Bob, quiet, please.
Alvarusa, are you motion to table?
Yes.
Blank,
Like, yes.
Cameron,
Not here.
not here. Cassell,
So, yes.
Shane,
And yes.
Chapman, Charkoudian,
Yes.
Cole,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Oh,
Farman,
yes.
Puccia,
Take food.
No.
opposed.
Take a roll.
Curtis,
Yes.
Demmett,
Emmett, yes.
Flores, Friedman,
Yes.
Roman,
Oh, yes.
Galloway,
Galloway, yes.
Hernandez, Joyce, Kay,
Yes.
Canal, Lerner.
Lerner,
no.
No.
Got it. Lyon,
Lyon, yes.
Meltzer,
Meltzer, yeah.
Mensley,
Yes.
Panya,
Nice job on the party.
Horshkari,
Corey, yes.
Song,
Yes.
Thompson, yes. Townley,
Yes.
you,
Yes.
all right.
All right, motion passes
me.
to table. Thank you, Art. And yes, was that a yes for you, Panya?
Yes.
Yeah.
I never heard my name. Okay.
Okay, so,
That's when this guy. when-
guys, the resolution has been tabled. Do I have a motion to adjourn? 9:35. Adjourn, thank you. Good night.